CareFinder is a real estate company that focuses on property development within the Gambia. We pride ourselves with providing not just quality and durable houses, but also state-of-the-art designs tailored to our clients' tastes and expectations. Our unique experience and expertise is second to none in the industry. We are currently building and selling 3-bedroom bungalows at Sukuta Traffic Lights and Jabang. We're also building and selling 3-bedroom story buildings at Sukuta Paradise. Other sites are also in the pipeline. With CareFinder, payment options are available. With just 40% deposit, you can get your house started. For more information, contact us on 329-5188, 727-0049, 709-8418. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at CareFinder. With CareFinder, you are assured of a secure investment.
APS Gambia lemu APS Katung APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di ke nyati mbondari taba futu wola at least ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo yo min fo yenda sija ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa ko do kino min tata fo wuli muan ime charge fenna wala nta sindi jam
Ako nyati mbo nko ko kabo transuto kata wala fo wuli muan ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal eke tamuna eke charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% na malam mati
wota yara gamen no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko ka ko do ki ibadi ngol
ya jele ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari min kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibiding abe tema biti ko sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika don ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek
ha
ni oto je nyamen don tachi ama ni ama don abanta ila crash power isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
oto mbade ngameno albe sito wulle fisiyata alnaleta APS wallet yela la mobile ko APS wallet nyaata doro barin koto nim fata do so kon to
dañu be fo no le mol ñala jam nim fata do so kon ba fo le
basi ti jembita ndori gi sajede kadu sa APS 100% namuti
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
ñu amaat kontante ak mbégte ñëwaat fii ci beneen ajuma ci Kër Fatou plateforme bi ak suñu beneen programme di Grand Bantaba show boo xam ne ñu ngi leen koy indil ajuma bu nekk semaine bu nekk without fail kon loolu di ci sant yàlla rek am mbégte gu mag a mag di wax ñëpp juma mubarak di leen ñaanal ajuma bu sell ajuma bu ànd ak jàmm ak naat ajuma bu ànd ak wér ak wérle niñ koy defee saa yu nekk rek damay bàyyi ñi nga xam ne ñoom laa bokkal plateforme bi ñu nuyoo ak askan bi ñi ñuy seetaan ñi ñuy xool ñi nga xam ne saa yu nekk ñu ngi reach out di ñu encourage xam nga di ñu ñaax pour ci liggéey bi nga xam ne moom la ñuy def nii liggéey réew la jubluwaay bi mooy ne yokkute jubluwaay bi mooy ne jàngale jubluwaay bi mooy ne yeete yëpp pour jëm kanam ak yokkute askan bi kon di ci sant yàlla rek lépp lu fi baax nag ci yàlla la waaye lépp loo xam ne nag ñagas na ngeen xam ne suñ matadi la suñ jumte la ñu ngi ciy jéggalu kon li may def rek mooy bàyyi suma xariti xol bi Thiam Babel Temba Thiam tey rek mu jógaat karawaat teg ci necktie def ci kawas ak daala yu sign comme xale niñ ko waxee yu sign waaw sut kos mooma waaw baleen ko ci rek nag waaw Thiam defati nga ko.
boole sa waa ji moo xam naa ne moom war naa ko jóg ba ji xaalis de.
waaw moom aussi Thiam damay baatare.
dafa war a dem seen rabal mu am.
naka lañ ko waxee ma koy tëgg
commencé ko si Thiam Babel
Thiam borom na ni waa
dinaa fi teg su ma bañ laa war a génne jox ko
wala boo génne wul bañ sa wéet ma rek wéet ma
da ko yombal
APS la da ngaa APS
ko
ñun ñëpp a ngi am APS
APS am fu mu nekk
waaye nag transparent tamit su fekkee ne mu ngi am su
mun naa screenshot li mu yónnee
non wane ñun tam su fekkee ne ñun tam ñu am su waala ñu dimbale
léegi man lu ma am la dama leen di
ndegi guru bi
yow ko ni téye nañu woon ne ameta la de amata bi li nga fay soto da doon de champil la
bari mbuko balu jede
akwa mbuko balu
henu mo be balu ndama balu jede
ñu ngi la gërëm bu baax di la gërëm di la sant tam ko nit ki tam yombu tam ni taxaw di wax lu baas sa baaxaay sa jaarar dafa jafe trop ku la ko def mooy ni ko xam ne ku xolam ku yaatu la ku la indi jaama tam di la gërëm sa liggéey sa taxawaay tam si support bu nga xam ne yaa ngi ko def doo dee xool fu waay mun ti bokka loo dee gis rek mooy injustice da nga ko dee xeex fu nekka dem di nuyu itam suma brother tam Haji bu nga xam ne jëg naa toogaa moom trop si plateforme.
da nga man daw rek.
amoon na jamono xanaa moom every time ngeen toog.
mu ne yaa daw si Haji sa waay la
waaw sama waay la moom yaaga ne du tey dafa nga taam nga xam ne sax bokkun parti sa time boobu sax ni maa ngi GDC mu ngi UDP da ndébu di communiquer su bari waaw moom tam ku xarañ la tam ku xam liggéeyam la ni ku dee déglu tam ni ku dee tey la tam dafa wax isu tam gëm lu mu gëm tam xam nga nit ki dafa am loo war a gëm soo gëmee loo gëm tam wax dëgg yàlla ku nekk daf la ko war a nangul soo Haji tam ñu ngi ko gërëm bu baax tam foo ko aussi media daf day ñëw Gambia foog naa Haji la Bojang ak Doudou Dia ñooñu évaluer leen foo leen Essa Dam Fa ñooñu moom Gambia moom foog naa ne moom du nga am ñu du yomba mun ngaa si kola sax mun ngaa eggaa si kola jóg ñëw
pare xam nga la no debate is heated bi nga xam ne they will get out of character no debate is heated bi nga xam ne dinañ wax loo xam ne dañoo toogaat ñu réccu ko you know and they've been consistent when it comes to that regardless of liñ believe nañ ko liñ gëm nañ ko fiñ bokka nañ ko te nobuñ ko xam nga loolu moo dee neexal plateforme si you know ba pare daa tax ku nekk ñemeñ suñ ne yooyee ñëw borom dina sawar pour ñëw waaye am na ci ñoo xam ne buñ ne ñoo faa nekk rek di nga xalaata di nga am excuse because xam nga liñ faa fekk kon seen liggéey rafet na même si moom ko wax ne dama ko jottale
waaw xam nga liggéey réew kenn ku nekk mun ngaa far fii kii far fii bon ana bi dee ni ñooy daje si programme si ñooy daje fu nekk waaw so ni nga ko def si yar ak teegin ku nekk jaay sa agenda jaay sa programme rek loolu suñ ko defee ne dafaa yóbbu réew mi si kanam pare ñoom su xoolee suñu waxtaan bi loolu la suñ pare ñooy taxaw fii ree kaf loolu la fu nekk su fa naa su fa tey di war di bàyyi xel loolu because kii am na lu mu gëm kii am na lu mu gëm bon indi bi yëpp mooy pour yóbbu réew mi si kanam la donc pour nekk parti lu mu bëri ku nekk loo ko laaj mooy man soo ma joxee réew mi naa soppi dundi askan bi dinaa def lii ak lii ak lii kii ne ko nii laa koo defee kii nii laa koo defee so kon warta nekk problème warta am noonu te waru faa nekk waaw so di nuyu tam suma oncle tam Bojang moom tam suma nijaay la nit ku xarañ la tam Gambie si da ko dee déglu bu baax waaw wax dëgg yàlla tam wax naa ko suma wax ne dafa am na time xam nga politique ak time moo ànd waaw soo amul time doo ko mën a def waaw peut être tam communication dafa métti bi ko toog ci télé di wax dama day wax fii always ne ñu nekkul ñoo gën a xam ñu toog si kër yi ñu gën a xam ak si media fu nekk waaye yàlla nu la jagle ñu toog fi di waxtaane mbiri réew mi kon di si war a sant yàlla so maa ngi ko nuyu ba di ko gërëm tam di nuyu tam suñu gan bu nga xam ne yow yaa koy welcome si li fi du gan fii because ñëw na si suuf bi ñëwaat fii ñu waxtaan nit ku am xam-xam la bu nga xam ne soo ko dégloo da nga koo nangul so ñu ngi ko moom tam ñu ngi ko dalal si kër bu nga xam ne ñëpp si bokka di nuyu borom kër bi tam di nuyu caméraman yi ak ñoom ñëpp di la wane asalaamaaleykum
jërëjëf MC kaddu yi rafet na jërëjëf Haji my brother ndir bisimillahi la ko tenke Grand Bantaba metale iman najan bare yalo ite ilan najan molka kontanle molka sewole because ite la kumo you know ni kumol fodoro molka fahamule andum aka mol karandile you know aka kol fanan koyndile wala tinna contente doron contente baake pour nge soto jang ko tenke bare gennimbe dunna programme to mbe bulala itene yobe la yi ñew konton ila fan so e konton doron gennimbe dunna
abaraka baake nene mfana ko ndanda baake kasi une plateforme to jang kati panel to jang panelist to jang MC and then Nabroda Ablay and Jiberlal be like it's a family
indeed
Gambia bankundinem and then politico anata pour kam molle chokinyola and then kafka tamani mirar nyal kan men yalon ko kafo men lota men beloring wala belief menti ila jeroto ni o kafo nyaton kay simule keno ka won mo la baloni balunya ta ka falim na ko ta dawda ju so mo nyala tambi nyaato men nyala tambi nyaato wala mo ngana hakilo tambi de nyaato ando hakilo ko le jatel beto so nyatuna all the time ning kara programme do membe ko nying aka nka kontalle because nka fo ngata karande mo le bloko la men yalon ko hanata la mi dal nyal mangi kilomoti bon londo atakuma da bakal de galo so fi kata damen e kata men bulla ay kana wojibe bara men bati bloko la itila la hajo men nyanta ka wala moy wato wati ando wala nyanda ka badia fana tinya ka molte ma manya na sinyo yal tinya manya na kana terial na ka fu yal tinya because na wol tinya do banko le ka kasara lim banko kasara tam bele ka wo feel together so it's a pleasure really being in on this platform once again sharing the same views or different views if somebody I always call a mentor, I will leave you to introduce him later. He's a great guest.
That's true. But kakali farmer jande. You understand? Kakali farmer jande. Thank you. Do you know me MC le kila por ayeta ayenoma.
Yalong kata la melto ni mo la meli yalong kulam buka sino kata wat de marika ngimba kata Santo to yeah, just to follow of content. We need to change the system.
Absolutely.
You need to be there to change it. You cannot change it without being there.
I agree on that.
Definitely,
one. Baraka bake. Bojamba. Uncle Jambo, ñu ñep suñu uncle. Di la dalalat rek bay la nga nuyo ak askan bi aman mbekté ak content rek wat fi ni, you know, time bi mom is very very tight. Ko xam bu jeng xam ne jot moom amu ko waaye soo bàyyee ci li nga nekk lu tuuti ñëw fi ni pour toog waxtaan ak askan bi loolu it's huge lu rëy la lu mag la xëy na nit ñi duñ dee understand loolu noonu kon di la jaajëfal rek bu jeng bàyyi la nga nuyu ak askan bi
jërëjëf di nuyu ñëpp même mo kontoon na commencé ma Haji very good brother and very patriotic loves country and you can see that in all that he does.
Yes.
Getting it from you people.
Passionate.
He's a passionate believer of this republic.
Yes.
Even though it's a betrayed republic, he believes it.
Thank you for that.
I endorse that message.
Indeed.
You know, all of you, very, very big heart, sis. Very, very big heart. I've not known you for that long, but you're a human being.
It gets me emotional. I'm not good at hearing those.
No. That's the truth. Regardless of the differences, it too small.
I'm the host. You guys are going to make me cry.
No, it's not about you said somebody of the goods that the person does to encourage them. It doesn't mean that we are over exaggerating, but that's the reality. And I think you need to keep it up and but give more listening here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. You're doing good.
Okay. Move on. Thank you.
You know, MC is equally a very good guy, and he's tolerant.
Oh,
yes. You know, I don't think you'll have any fight in any room where MC is.
No?
I think he is a natural diplomat. You know,
It's a natural development. And you know, you see these people, including our guests, you know, the country is a bitter republic for far too long. But that's hope.
Yeah.
That's really, really big hope. You see young people out there, those on the panels, you may not agree with everything that they say, but you understand that at least there is big chance for this country sometime in the future. We hope that future would be 2026.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. That's our prayers. And as I always jokingly will tell Talibu, if it is going to be going to bed with the jeans and the brass, then we are going to bed with them. So that we can restart, reboot this country.
Absolutely.
Talibu is actually to
No more.
Yeah, we are also saying hi to him.
This made the people talk. Nanam bang Talibu nakain ko te time so tara. Thank you so much.
And all those that couldn't make it to the panel.
Yes.
Buba, Sifu, and every other individual. And our greatest respect to the guests. You know, a very honorable, respected individual, and of course, an ocean of knowledge equally. And you know, Gomna Inete, the new Jangat. All those that are also listening would also,
yes,
you know, and of course, thanks to bottom top of Kefatu, our fans and everybody, and let them also keep us all in prayers. Because
indeed,
it's not an easy thing to be frank with you, not at all, not at all, and we are also equally praying for them. But we request prayers from all of them, for all of us.
Sant Yàlla. Jërëjëf Bojang, jërëjëf kàddu rafet na torop. Yal na Yàlla nangu ñaan yépp ku ci nekk li sa xol Yàlla may la ko oyofal indi nag parce que diis na suñ ne ko eno pour liggéey réew en bu diis la yombut waaye sant Yàlla rek you know lim na ma ci ñun rek nañu ko defaral kon di am kontaan ak mbégte li ñuy def rek ma ñu jaajëfal ñi nga xam ne ñoo dee dooleel programme bi saa yu nekk di ci njëkkee rek ñi nga xam ne mooy Kër Fayda they've been with us from inception puusu wuñ sonnuñ xaddi wuñ you know ñu ngeeg ñun moo tax it saa yu nekk ñuy mën a ñëw kon di leen jaajëfal rek di wax yéen it ñi nga xam ne dina ñooy seetaan dina ñooy safoo ñu tiitaroo dañu puukaroo di kontaan ne ñu ngi ñëw everyday jàppale leen ñu jàppale Kër Fayda naka lañ leen di jàppale mooy patronise dooleel seen liggéey dooleel seen business ñoom lan la ñuy def mooy fi sampa jaay kër jënd kër ñu xarañ ci lool ñu mun ko lool te déggu jub képp koo xam ne ak foo mun a nekk àdduna wér nga am kër bugga koo jaay jokkoo la Kër Fayda nga am laan bugga koo sampa jokkoo la Kër Fayda amuloo kër amuloo laan waaye nga bugg a sampa jokkoo la Kër Fayda ñoom daal waxa ñoom rek ne leen lii laa bëgg nii laa ko bëggee nga discuss sa budget xamal ne demal tëdda nelaw ni nga ko bëggee dinañ ko defee ñoom te sa xaalis dina jaar foo xam ne boo taxawee di nga ko gis doo ci am laamee te doon am dara loo cee rëccu kon seen biir wóor na ba ñu liggéeyee ñoom ba tey amul kenn ko ñëw ne jëflante ne ñoom te am nañ ci njuuj njaaj o am na lu ci lëndëm musuta am kon jokkoo leen ak Kër Fayda nombay nañ ko def si screen bi ñaareel bi ñuy jaay jëfar ngir dooleel bi nga xam ne la ñuy dooleel the Grand Bantaba Show ak Kër Fatou mooy APS ñoom tamit seen tur fis na lool ngir liggéey bu rafet bi ñuy def ak ci li ñuy yëngu mooy financial institution bi nga xam ne ay yëppi xaalis la wecc la joxe la yónnee xaalis li ci gën a rëy ci li nga xam ne loolu la ñuy def waaye defuñ lu rek am ci pour nga indi li nga xam ne moom la askan bi bugga pour yombalal askan bi tamit seen ay yëngu-yëngu ñu defar ay app ñëpp xam nañ ne si age of technology lañ nekka lépp loo xam ne la nga koy def te internet bi technologie bokk fa rek xamal ne am na lu ci des ñoom nag ñu am app am wallet APS wallet bi soo downloadé yooyu noonu di nga mun a use seen services yi yónnee xaalis ñu yónnee la xaalis yow tamit ci seen wallet boobu noonu ak app bi mun nga see jënda ay ticket mel ni football ticket tournament yi ni nawetaan mun nga see jënda ticket si lopitaan yi mun nga see fay taxi driver lépp képp koo xam ne am na APS yow mun ngaa jëflante ñun ci seen app bi ñu ne déet ñu indi loo xam ne ñu ne link la promotion link bi soo ko jëlee nga yónnee ko nit kooku su duggee si link boobu noonu mu yónnee keneen xaalis yow mi njëkk a yónnee link bi APS ñu ne dinañ la ne jërëjëf ak junne ak juróomi téeméer dalasi mooy $1,500 loolu rëy na des si jamono buñ nekk nii mun na laa defal ñetti fani dépense mun na laa joxal loñ xale yi ay 10 days kon loolu rëy na jël leen link boobu noonu si seen app bi nga yónnee ko anybody just yónneel rek xamuloo kan moo cee dugg mu yónnee ko te su borom yónnee di nga ci am xaalis kon dem leen ngeen jël nomba yi ngeen download app bi Android iPhone any téléphone boo am mun a am rek dugal nga download app bi ak wallet bi nga jëfoo ko nga use ko kon di jaajëfal APS di jaajëfal Kër Finder ci jàppale bi ngeen di jàppale plateforme bii nii di leen fàttali ne tamit stars yi si Facebook page bi ñu ngi up soo leen di seetaan rek mun ngeen a click 1 or 2 stars loolu dafa tontu xaalis bu mu noonu dafa dimbale plateforme bi pour ñuy gën a ñëw fii nii di leen mën a indi plateforme bi kon di leen jaajëfal rek kon si saa yi fiñ toll nii ñu ne wat bi egg na ci ndel bi li may def rek mooy unveilal leen kan moo xam ne mooy suñ guest bi tey niñ koy waxee rek ajuma bu nekk dañuy am content pour ñëw toog fi indil leen a grand show on a grand platform with a grand guest discussing grand topics yoo xam ne moo saxal askan bi mooy lëmba réew mi moom la askan bi di laam-laamee kon tey kontante biñ am fii mooy kiñ leen indil mooy Boubacar Fuñaame ak tuumam maabo Gambia dooku kan ak tuumam maabo banko diamo ni banko kuwo atomam maabo je ni ngato fo altol beba lon nako aliya lonne ina san fes na lool lépp loo xam ne yi fi Gambia la daf cee bokka li olof di wax rek loo bokk doo xaar ñu oola ci moom duy xaar ñu oo ko ci loo xam ne yi fi Gambia dafay ñëw bokk ci fes si béy ci waaram kon am nañ kontante torop kontante baake pour nga docteur Ousman Gajigo Soto Jang bi Dr. Ousman Gajigo tol be yallon ne aka si platform molto aka banko kolko aka kacalke aka mol karandi san kolla andu nga long fanane nyin temboto ate fanang aya bulo dundi politiko kono san not only a stakeholder but a participant, right? And in the process of registering a political party with a beautiful name, right? It's PPA, Patriotic Progressive Alliance. That is the party that's is in progress to be registered. We're hoping that it will be completed soon and it will be unveiled. But before we get into the discussion proper, I want to allow Dr. Gajigo to just, exchange pleasantry with our viewers, right now online and those who will be watching later. Doctor, you are highly welcome on the Grand Bantaba Show. It's indeed a great pleasure to have you. Like my brother said, Bojang, we're all excited, ready, fired up to learn from the wisdom, the knowledge that you have, because we know you carry a lot in you. We've been following, we've been watching you. So just
No, thank you very much. Abarka bake in kontan battle kanaja. Comme ale afu nyamen ro manki jël lu ndawti. Kanaja bakele so momil bebe camera koma. Yalon jama mil kanyum programme jube bu kalon ko ti momil bi jewol kaddo ko minke. So nin nada kay ni wol ka nyon kontole bare sa jende al fanan natel min be jube rola. Ko min timbale be camera ko mi be do ko ke ka anyama. Hade so mi wol be konton na aninna fellow guest nyol mil baby jam. Jawo kay hanate manyi lonjang momo ka programme jube Gambia jannem bang wala programme do lemba momo be sirin jambi molye be lon adum ngelo njam fana ku mayata because na politiko ko wati do kasi diamol ka aka kanamol bul mol ka da cool fo mi yalon ko ikan ni misala sama bari ni tata yi lammo ni mil be sirin jang la programme ko ni buka fo ka la programme li buka fama janne wod la do lemwo bari ko me traje ku fo kan fa kono warande ndiro kanay dal kono ibo nyini dal fo e bata so ini municipal programme kono okay yanku bandi wala wato wati mbinale so I am very very pleased to be here. I like to say also, I know you people mentioned that I present a lot of knowledge to people, but I want people to know that in the process I'm also learning a lot.
Right.
Yes. When I write my articles, when I'm making presentation, you have to go and investigate.
Right.
So you research. So before you go and say anything about the budget, about other sectors, about agriculture, you need to make sure that what you are saying is based on facts, is based on substance. It's not just any of these, Garwale talk, which we have too many. So that for me, I want people to know that
we are all in the process of learning together.
Yes.
So it's we are all in the same classroom called life. And we hope that very soon we'll have the change that we need. And, that is best for the Gambia. Whoever it might be, we are praying that it is best for the Gambia. I came out in Mia Lonko, Gambia Nyaruta, and Ala Cairo, Damal Betarleji. So, thank you.
Like they also, nobody has monopoly of knowledge, right? But of course, in the animal kingdom, all animals are the same, but some are more equal than others, right? We have to accept that fact of life also. Doctor, ñu dugg ci programme bi waaye ni ñu ko defee fii ne saa yi nekk li nga xam ne moo nekk the trending issues moom lañ di indicate discourse, right, before you get into the subject of the show on that day. Waaye tey show bi ni moo demee mu ngi yëpp dafa tie into it, you understand, or na ñëpp ak ñi fi toog ne yow sa xel màcc na lool when it comes to economy and the budget, and all that. So dinañ dugg ci loolu noonu lu ci gën a bari waaye fi ñu koy commencé mooy right now nii gis nañ ne président bi mu ngi nekk on a tour, meet the people tour, constitutionally mandated tour. But then again, more jama ni la mo ikafoye ko, the tour has drifted from its intended purpose as per the constitution. Instead, it has been torn as a political tool. And people also will tell you, also to advance the city, because of how it's been torn to be a politically motivated tool, it is an advantage over everybody else. Because if you look at it, yes, election is going to be next year, 2026, right? The election cycle is going to start with the presidential election. Then we go to the parliamentary, then the local government. But other parties have not started officially campaigning. Yes, they do their grassroots consultations, sensitization, engagement. But now you have somebody campaigning openly in this guise of meet the people tour, using law to violate things. Quickly, what's your take on that before we even get into the system?
No, I think it's a very valid point. Just like many Gambians, this is something that I have been concerned about. I just came back from a trip to CRR yesterday. Earlier on, when the president started his tour, I crossed paths with him in URR. So I have seen with my own eyes, in many ways, like what you see if you are in the combos is a small fraction of the wastage. But the main point I think that you raise here is the valid point. Yes, this is something constitutionally mandated, but I hope down the road this is something will change, because it's something that is easy to be abused and is currently being abused right now. The incumbency comes with a lot of advantages. To go and add an advantage such that where you have millions of dollars being budgeted for the president, and when he is going, we all know there are suitcases of money that are also trailing. What we know are the officially reported one. The unofficial amount, nobody has any clue that is being given out. And people will tell you, I've met people who receive cash from the president. How that cash, the genesis of that cash, in what way it was given, nobody knows. There's no accountability, whether it's from the government budget, or whether it's people that have this that we have the state capture problem with. This is a big problem. So in the future, this is something Gambians should very carefully think about removing from the constitution. The point is not to say that the president will not go and meet the people. In any democracy where a government has to go and meet the people, you have an incentive on your own to go out there on your own. Nobody has to tell you. It doesn't need to be constitutionally mandated. It makes sense. You will have to go. And the president has such advantage, he will have no problem going. But to add this significant amount of resources, where there is no accountability, what is budgeted is far less than what is actually spent, the manner of its expenditures, nobody really has any clue. It's a very troubling thing. I remember when he was having this meeting in Sare Alpha, that the Garawans at Sare Alpha, I was driving back to the country, to the combos. Every single governor, from NBR, other parts of the country, I saw their convoys in their very high fuel consuming vehicles, all going there. What are the governors in NBR, in LRR doing in a meeting in URR? So you see project vehicles, you see all of these things being commandeered to go and ferry people who are not there to assist the president do his constitutional job, but simply to go and do a blatant political campaign. So this is something that is disturbing, and people should know that the level playing field is made even more unlevel right now, and it's something that we have to give serious thought to down the road to removing from the constitution.
Thank you very much. Now, let me piggyback from, you've mentioned two things, governors from other regions, leaving their regions to go to another region just to attend a meeting. Now, to follow up to that, we see ministers also, all of them, basically most of the meetings, when you look at it, you can count at least more than 10 ministers lined up in those meetings when their offices are left over here. That's one. Now, two, also, when you mention the wastage, right, and the lack of accountability, I have here data from Gambia Patriotic, right, who did compare the actuals, the budgeted and the actuals of the Meet the People tour from 2020 to 2025. Right. Even though the 2025 budget approved is stated, but we don't know yet because it's not yet end of 2025. Actually, the tour has not ended for the actuals to be presented for us to know that figure. Exactly. But if we follow the trend, people can comfortably say that it's going to surpass. Absolutely. The approved amount. If you look at 2020. The approved was 6 million, but the actual was 32 million. In 2021, again, the approved was 6 million. The actual was 43.52 million. Huge. 2022 approved was 6. The actual was 25. It came down a little bit. I don't know what the justification was, because if that happened and they still had the Meet the People tour, now the question is, why is it going high on other years? Exactly. But just moving along, in 2023, the approved was 10 million. They spent 61.36 million. And in 2024, the approved was 30 million. They spent 64.67. In 2025, this current year, that the tour is ongoing, they approved 40, but we don't know yet. We have to find out. Now, my question is, the people that do the budget, every time you budget less, they spend more, but you still budget less than the actual. I don't know if what sense does that make? Because when you're budgeting, it has to be based on the actual, the reality. Yes. Now, if you spend 3-4 years in a row, what you budget, approve, they exceed it maybe double or 3 times, but you still go ahead and approve less. What? Help us dissect that.
No, this actually is a specific example of a general problem in the Gambia government budgeting, but it's actually a bit more concerning and sinister than that. In many sectors, what you would see is that what is projected in the budget, will either be significantly higher or lower. But whether it's higher or lower depends on the sector or the office. Places like the office of the president, places like the store, things that have nothing to add to the national development, you will find that what is actually spent is far higher than what is budgeted. In some other sectors that are important nationally, I'll give an example of education. You will find that the amount that is put there, for instance, for school improvement grant, if you talk to people who trust you at the Ministry of Basic Education, who will tell you things in confidence, they struggle getting that money that has been allocated for school improvement grants. Sometimes they'll be struggling until the end of the year. The ministry will be dragging its feet because it actually wants to slash it, and the amount that is actually budgeted is very, very little. It's one of the lowest in Africa per student. The point here, so that's a general problem where what is called budget credibility. This has been noted by many institutions, by IMF, by World Bank, and of course by Gambia Patriotic, which is there is a lack of credibility in this particular government. They are very, very egregious in this respect, where what they say they will do and what they end up doing is very different. So this is something where whenever I'm analyzing the budget, I always make this note there. Of course, you can look at the allocation. There is huge misallocation. The amount, for instance, you see them playing games, the amount that is going to the office of the president this year, they reduced it a bit. It looks like that's a reduction. But what did they do? There was never, the vice president's office is always in the state house budget. You know, it never had its own separate line in the budget.
Right.
For the first time this year, they gave a separate line for the vice president's office so that people will think the allocation to state house has gone down. But the vice president, it should be has always been part of the state house budget. And when you add it, the allocation is well over $1 billion. It continues the same trend of wasting. So here, I mean, going back to your question, ni bekeri njandro tinyar kes tinyaro ni mialan kon data jelo wolbe keka ni mansa kunda kon bitani le spend la e kata ni spend akatambi woti adi ba dum kan ko mi da manki kuti mialon ko ba ko la nyato tali biji ko mi ala be de mala politiko la karola so momi nyanda ka to yafo ka good advice the president wala wolbe Ministry of Finance le but right now mom be sitting na Ministry of Finance Mr. C.D. Keita, who is one of the most incompetent ministry. Omala dokolo, kujamali bije melo ga kasaro ke bankole ji. You know, so mo si ba no bije, mi ala mala doko ke nyanda ke la nyame. What is sino like tonya for president we? Wo ajube fa hanani auditor general nyimba indro min keta o timbale min keta ji. Instead of ala doko kiji. Atata ala doko aka nyama bada dun kan ko min man kala doko woti. Ikalo nyame fana nyimman sekunda la nyimbito do ko man tata anyama comme adu politique la manke comme constitutional mandate things minister mi be diamuka ni be diamuka jama ke dadu ko do mi manke la do ko wot demba sabal lota la ko ha diamuka health sector ko wala demba sabal manke minister of health yes jami fenki be diamula baro diamula ba fa ko mi ko be America e kana jara wala jang demba sabal le folo ada ndu diamu baratala bunda abdane wolem sella la koti amam fenelo koto ala diamu buka siya koto so nyimba sekunda niaje nyintiyaro be kala eka kuolle ke miyalon ko imanyanna kala legally ila minister miyalo yentanda la na president wala nyim diamu wala nyim tobe mu development na quality ite minister ni tata yelo ni yenet inyata diamu la sector la ko wala imanyene da dum da sector do la ko wala ba ni de lota je be sector do la ko fola wala nyitande ko ite bije ibe fen ko wala ibe campaign la political campaign ite be ko le foka bimbi NPP ma ko la amanke banko la koti wala nyim problem won
then problem waratale de because the amounts, if you look at this amount, they're huge, right? I mean, when you total it, you see that it's like almost 200 and something percent increment from what is being approved from 2020 to 2024 and 2025 and what has been, spent in actuality. Exactly. It's crazy. Now, moving on. We still saw also in the same, the debt interest and amortization also. It's like an upward trend. What can you tell us? Why is it going up, right, and not going down? But again, with all these loans that we are servicing, you wouldn't see the effects that you can put it at par and say the amount of loans that has come in this country, it has been spent on this, and you can say it, and it's impactful to the citizenry.
No, okay, that one is very obvious when you look at this budget. Our debt is increasing, which means our debt service, what we have to pay annually to our creditors, each year is increasing significantly. What is really scary about it, in the last budget, it was already over 1/3. For every $100, 30% or $30 goes to creditors. In order of the amount of money that goes to service our debt is more than what we put in agriculture, is more than what we put in education, is more than what we put in health, in any of these important sectors. Again, debt is not a problem. If you take the debt and you use it correctly, people see the value of it. Let me give you one example of a debt that is taken, is significant, and nobody has benefited. Madagakawan. Sade do be wulli ka fuje limbambulu. Abe wulli isle.
Limbambulu.
Limbambulu, yes. je wole faro so je yalla ko sate
Richer.
You know that. Okay.
sate nan le denta faro la faro ni a warta. It's like 1 kilometer by 500 meters. It's 50 hectares. ADBA loan di Masakundala about $500 million. Munem pour ye develop pour wol si mano seneje samati le kandi. Isi masingol soto. Amanke je dammat dam fa kunda be jelani sati dol. But just for the sake of time fengo be focus on sati full leka. Wo loan di ni Masakundala ila first year in power. The first disbursement kodo ite wato in 2017. Ni Masakunda ta contractor ya di jumala a friend of the president. Woman manifaro doku amalo.
Lasta no wole nyini kala ko wo mari yemin yedoko bi munna wole mala doku wolati ay track record sotole ay history sotole.
Exactly. So the answer is very simple. Dan fa kunda limbambulu ye contractor di minna. President teri male. Al business jama diala. Mina nyin safela nyaado ndadu mba mari to fola jele. Bari min kum mari la fami nyitanda mbola wala lonyi na karola. Lonyi 500 million ye wala di Masakundala adun jandi be o bila Masakundala wala foro da doku kandeno ipo mo ka kata nyame ka do no miso je ba traika
Kila fansun ko okay.
Ha e ka jebe senel bari kabirin nyim contrat ko na nyim lonta 500 million kabirin Masakundala contrat ko di nyin ala nyin teri mala ay nyin la faro tinya ndara fo limbambule la faro do lota je mun do ka min sene o 50 hectares bi kamin sen hani 10 hectares abukasi ay faro bele tinya anyanta bulo min lola pour pumping station kala je amamba canal sol ani levis mi ndaka jobondi bato kanaka irrigation ke nyile amamba ye dinkol 1540 tan wala mi yaron ka amamba be dinkare ne sapino loko wala be wala ka faawo dinkol kon wo sabe o be siri njele mun be kamin sen say bu ko fonctionner ntada jele fo dulato lota je nin sate ko mul diamuta natalo be mbulle mba findindila so bari hani say a projet ko nin say a lon nin tatal ni le contrat ko soto ela bank account ol faada ela bunjangol lo ela business ol tamande bari na doku la mil be wul mi yalo ko 50 hectares hectare kili nin je sene e nyanda kamin soto e nyanda kala several tons per hectare and they have 50 sate na le denta wala bi ni fota da ni sama ko no fota ye faro kon hani namanke kolandin kili because ni je do ko ama do kuno so lado bi je ka dinkale joka loje nyame ite mano tutuno laje so da fa mil kanaje o dinkol ko loje e ka dunjele fa hani mbasin kilinti je hani fende man jobu ka borile levis nyol be katita so ngaw 500 loan ta adum be loan jolale for the next 30 years because signing next year the 10-year grace period be ban for the next 30 years ndel be loan jolale bar nga muna soto je hani fe banko me na faaje do kulan me na faaje bar wo loan ndel sa wosa mba bonda na budget ko nga ADB jo wo kola to make things worse ni Masakunda na yare loan do fananta ko teke e ko hawo do ko man ka nyama be loan do tala pour nga muru nga 5 kan je kan ko teke
For the same work?
Yes, for the same work. Ibe project ibe loan do fanantaka. So wala ninte ko ni Masakunda e ka loan ninta e ka dundi dame amanke kilindi. This another example odi la na nawek ka powership bija wato min 7-year deal wala sort with government o sanyi wo wulol kono government ye jomi na $200 million sa wosa e ka 30 million ne soto yobe abika bondi na budget ko ne ka di wala wol tata jani sanyi wor wala e muruta wala return min soto je man mo soto banku doto sai o $200 million te do jolale kota ke sanji jama bara en na famu ne la because ka be nyi bije la kululo 30 megawatts le bije wo kulumo be anyanta sana $30 million la bari ndel ke jo wala sa wosa abugo ni bungolo bungo nyi mu 5 million neti ite na re ko nyi lefta bungolo wasela bi nkoy ko ite la lwaso be kala each year be kala 5 million neti wole ki mol so wo 200 million o ndel be karla wo jola for the next several decades so loan min tada jam juno min ben tel kawla abetarna ndungo kawla because for the next 30 years ndungo betarna ja skero ko mama ngol fawle tara jam amam banko nafa adun president wo molle ta millialo ke be katalina dala terimal ay wolle nafa ay banko be bale wala na problem woti nyim banko ka.
Hey, I look like a rookie right now. No, I don't mean to laugh.
Honestly, it's disheartening.
It's disheartening. See, the cash power thing, yalong kabirin cash power benung jan. Tenu modo kashaki power kulu. You know, power also they were doing services in Senegal. Kari nyi kabirin aya faran fanchenye. Koye yim nyim foteng. Koye kajan nimba luas la. Munate nantasan nantol aseken ntati. Yena ta. Den ninga ta fumma masula la kotenke. Ntol fan ngata banku do ngani service dile la nga kodo soto je yena sa. I mean
e ka nyim fo wala nyim 200 million ni wota e power plant lo Gambia ja. Na nyim power plants mil be Gambia mil be kotore mi alon ko ila lubricant needs ila tulol ning ila diesel anim fenkol ibe nyina la wol be la lefa nyim 200 million asi 200 megawatts power plant lo Gambia ja adu neolo o be ko min dila molla Gambia korda business wo business asi ko soto nole o ko la fo do tuji nimbe tulaje nde so wafi no Senegal fo wadan gini bisaw fo
exactly
ado nyame jambi hani sa Senegal nga ko min tawul bulu mbuka wol jono ka pa aussi kabri be nyim fonkela that was in fact a letter of credit masakunda min fo sabe mi alon ko one of the local banks de o feki pour ni la payment letter demanding bro government better la on a big hope so bentam fa nyinin kala munat na masakunda be okay kam kurawol bitakal amam mosi benyum ko diba be dum ni kanyil bulu because dole be ji mil be fan nafaka adun teta nyilla audited now each year they have audited annual reports and while they are out there ngati ko safele ka mitandi sawosan e ka fo min e ka min di ka powership la adite fonka e ka min fo ya di anu wata min fo di the reality million le be tema. Yes. Molle bije mi yalo be nafakan. So abuko do ni ko e ko ka power sit na 30 million de dila. E ko demanding ka fujele million dama. So auditor na wat ni a check. Ni a cross da ka power sit la counter e ko ali ni le so government bulo ko ha. Ni da general ledger of Nawek. E ka min traje ani wo million le katare tema.
To the inflated.
Yes. Wo sanji woro bulo ni aji continue avec kela. Na president wala minister of energy nyor wol bet wo kata cabinet ro muna na man ko nyininka molle bije ni masakunda ko biya ko sawo billion katete le jifo kon so president si lono mo la yafu mole ko abi universal electricity sol hani sa ambe kurango sankan Senegal nkamin sa wol bulu abe donto kanne hani sa ngamin soro na capacity
ani yalo amanke donto ro fante nyim mo fana ay make explain yalo tulka kapawa kurango sannun kapawa right. The rate, Senegal's own is lower,
yes.
Way lower. But the irony here is, what Senegal is selling to us, the leftover they have, they sell to us, is still higher than what we are paying car power.
It's still lower.
Exactly.
Coming the quantity.
Yeah.
Yes, because Senegal can 15 megawatts.
The rate.
Oh, the rate.
Yeah, the rate. Because car power, let's say, for example, if car power is selling to us, let's say 50, right, per kilowatt, they're selling to Senegal, let's say 25 or 30 per kilowatt.
Okay.
But then Senegal is selling to us, let's say 65 or 70 per kilowatt. You understand here? So it doesn't make any sense, you know, to have to buy at a higher rate. Why didn't you increase the capacity with this? Because that rate is lower. Because when they explained this, it blew my mind.
There are electricity company of the Senegal. I was on some of those projects, like Mimbe Malekunda, for instance. I was in those projects, and in Project Jamal Mimbe Senegal. World Cup company be make a crowd there, it can produce it can wapi Senegal. So when Senegal Basanka Minna, they pay that company and it use can nationally. So in Delbum Nekeka, instead of telephone that do ni milbina Gambia lojang, in the will directly. So wol ba African Senegal bina African telka Senegal fana mbela mako kafuka aka bari hanimo Senegal kamin wafin telma kurawuni o price le doyata be min jokan ka pawala because wala dinda man sekunda ngi nyinin kala sinya jama pour the power purchase agreement min ke nin ka power system e man son ka finti ko si yalla ne min bije so ku jama min bije nga kalam ta nyame nga kiskis lo leke comme nga wo Sénégambia bridge la ko kiskis nyame fo nga soto nyanda soto la nyame bari ate ite hajile yo contrat ko nin ka power CP min sai ite hajila because jele mbalon na nyele wala banko kasarale ni ko moli ko ibe Gambia be so la kurawala jele mbalon no manke toñaati yewuli million keme fula yo tiñadami sanni wala kono ite ko kono soto la mun dole right now wala la ite min tiña yemin de ka power CP la wala siata yemin di agriculture ministry la wala siata yemin di ministry of education wala siata yemin di energy ministry la wala siata yemin di ministry of health la adi yo beke sanji sanji wala damala ko so aku kabako waraba
ako wara FC fi mo bëgg ñu ñëw te tiklu nga docteur bu baax this example bi mu joxe in what's the name of the village again
Limbambulu
yes Limbambulu
in Wuli West
in Wuli imaginal jigéen ñi ñu ngi doon am nu mu bon lu tuuti ñu ngi ko doon am foofu ñu ngi daan seen doole sonaluñ kenn ci seen man-man ak ci seen doole léegi nga ñëw jox leen this expectation ne yaa ngi leen di jox su lu gën a baax possibly it was going to be mechanized farming and all year round farming right
not possibly definitely
yeah,
it was supposed to be mechanized
farming all year round farming right and it was not a grant or gift it's a loan jël loan boobu xaalis lépp xaalis bi ñëw jox ko sa ay waay pour ñu def liggéey bi kenn defu si dara te dara darut kenn ñu demaat jëlaat beneen xaalis waat pare na ñëw dañoo defaat liggéey boobu parce que biñ njëkkoon a def baaxul waaye li ma ci gën a daw suma mooy ne loon bi ñoo jël noonu ni ko docteur waxee ñun ñoo koo fay jigéen ñi nga xam ne lañ yaaxal liñ doon am xëy na suñ doon am 100 yaaxal nañ foofu noonu mënatuñu am 100 ñu ngi am 25 or 30 waaye jigéen yooyu ñooy ñëwaat ñu fay loon yooyu noonu parce que ku see jaay si marché bi ñu ngi laa taxe yaa ngee fay ku see jaay bitik yaa ngee fay ku ci liggéey yaa ngee fay taxe yaa ngee fay lëmp yaa ngee fay naamo yooyu noonu la ñoo usaat pour fay loolu noonu ndax loolu réew dina demee noonu man boobu marqué na ma.
jërëjëf Néné ñu ngi gërëm docteur Gajigo bu baax si information xam ne isi na ko nekkan lu nga xam ne warto beta benn Gambien si nguuri Adama Barrow si jikko yooyu because ñoom dañ gëm ne fu mu jaar nga nekk politicien wala nga dooleel si politique nga mën a free si nguuram because di moo nga nekk contractor wala yaa ngi def business soo xoolee Barrow nguuram bi ñu ko dooleel mooy ñu si ëpp mooy ay businessmen ñoo si bokk ñoom ñoo ko print t-shirt ñoo ko sponsor ñooy def rale bi everything so contractor yu bëri soo xoolee sax stadium bi lu fa xew loolu su nekkoon beneen nguur la woon tey kon leen la noonu wax tey stadium bi fii waaye lu gën a am solo mooy da ngaa gis ne ba tey da ngaa blame suñu member of parliament because dëkk boobu am na député te député boobu xam na la mooy problème boobu am na doole pour all minister of works wala ko xam ne mu leen jox contract bi wala agriculture moom mu war a ñëw uy si assemblée bi because MP am na doole boobu because sa constituency mi ngi am problème lu mel ni loon nga jël loon si turi Gambie because loon bi jël loo ko si turi jigéen ñi rek wala turi Gambie nga ko jëlee so every Gambians yow adu bi dee wala sa sit oo sa doom na fay si loon boobu mun loo jël leen loon affaire yi yaaxu nga jëlaa beneen loon nga continuer soo xoolee sax nga xool football field si bëri nga xam ne ñu ngi teg ay xeer last president election si yooyu déggatuloo ko field yooyu daanu na kenn waxatu ñooñu kan oil contract bi kenn jaarul si yoon so dafa bëri si nguuri Adama Barrow lu nga xam ne lu fa yaaxu kenn ku ne because France yaa ngi koo waxu yi politics Barrow yoo xaritam nga afa yaa ngi ko isil ay nit afa yaa ngi di ko sa alal di ko support si politics yow yaa ngi siif si nguuri Barrow waaw loolu mu di def yow siif nga loolu li xew si nguuri Barrow yëpp si affaire yaaxa dafa bëri moo tax bala nga ko dee xam mooy Pamadou Mbow mus na ko wax fii mu ne Barrow si génnee commission yi Barrow muy gën a garaaw dan ifi bu Yaaya Jammeh because soo xoolee yaaxu-yaaxu yi dafa bëri si nguuram après tey luy xew foofu di ko boobu man damaa gën a believe di member of parliament because mu war naa mën a oo di ministre of agriculture ministre bi tam wax dëgg yàlla suma collègue la woon in GDC xam naa ne fii bu du area am ña Barrow ko joxee because of pour mu mën a isi ay nit politique la ko def rek bu ko Demba Saba man xam naa ko so da nga gis ne ñu daf ko jël ne ko waa bu ko dem mun naa dem reach out to GDC base bi di si gars yi ñoo join Barrow so loolu moo fa nekk soo xoolee Barrow ministre mi yëpp kenn rek nga mën a wax ni dama ko lay wax fii always kooku laa mën a wax ne mun naa sax beneen ko fa mel c'est parce que beneen government bu ñëw di entire government ni Barrow du am kenn koo xam nga nguuri Jammeh sax am na ministre yoo xam ne Barrow ñëw ne isaat leen waaw wala Barrow pour mu am soo ko ooyee beneen ministre doo ooyaat keneen ku war a mën a saa beneen government so because ñoom they are more on politics more on mislead public bi di wax la xam ne amut bon lu xew foofu dafa nekk lu nga xam ne loolu concerne la te même parlement war naa mën na nu mu gën a gaawee bi ko Dr. Gajigo kilifa la du waxantu lu mu war dafa am parce que éviter da ci leen government ifin Transgambie bi bi xëccoon na faa government bi du gara bari dama ñëw def ne xëccoon naa government bi ba léegi government bi noppale ko
lim yaakoon di wax yëpp loolu
moo nekk di am so su waree ñëw laalaat lii tam bu nga xam ne suñ jigéen yi ak nu ñu daanee doole di struggle nga aayale waa léegi stop leen léegi ñu ngi isi lu gën loolu gën a ñëw gën a garaaw lu nga xam ne dafaa lor askan bi dafaa lor ñëpp because suñ ayoo moo faa dugga because loolu si gars yi dajee dafa bari mais boo su ma gisee ñoom ñu wax ne waaw Barrow si taxawee si raali wax ne man maa ngi liggéey lii Barrow liggéeyu dara loolu si ëpp yëpp ay loolu la ay grand yoo xam ne daf ko jël because tey Gambia without ECOWAS without naka IMF without UN Gambia yu dem because all kuréel ngaa di wax si kaw bi ab bi yëpp from here Gambia to Sénégal la Guinée Conakry yooyu yëpp ECOWAS la loolu projet ECOWAS la so kon moom ne ñoom amul dara nga xam ne ñoom liggéey nañ ko si passé ñi su leen amut waaye ba tey ñu nekk ndax askan bi taxaw man maa ngi si naa fi courant liggéey xoolal yoon yi gars yi liggéey si dikka bi yooni noor la because nawet su ñëwee rek yoon yi am nañ problème yoon dikka bu ñu fay loru xoolal Gita Banjul area yoon yi gars yi liggéey fii yëpp taami nawet ni yaa ngi ful am na pour ñu nelaw sax du nga ko mun guddi bi yëpp di ngay génne ndox si seen kër yi soo mu ne yoon yi taami noor la rek yoon yi baax na parce que mais leen 5 years nga xool yoon yi yëpp ay tas parce que amul kenn ko xam ne on la leen ne di léeg lii kaay njaar la si yoon soo mu demee nun den am problème moo xam ne dañ ko am wala ñoom dañ nekk di nax askan bi waaye tam goor askan bi li ngi doon di understand yaa ngi doon di eewu di xam ne lu ñu wax yëpp teguñ ko fen bon lu xew foofu dafa nekk lu nga xam ne lu dañ ko war a ñaawlu and I think wax na si mbiri toob itam because toob itam yaa wax naa ko fi last time because midi people toob man dama gëm ne loolu gars yi campagne nañ ko 2016 ne Jammeh dañ jël li di dooleel boppam si politics ñoom suñ jëlee réew mi loolu dañ ko génne wala def amendment si donc dama gëm ne Barrow mën naa dem toog mën naa dem mit Gambie si waxtaan naa Gambien si bon sooy dem ministre of agriculture ana la moom wala ministre of works nga ana ay fi wala xoolal nga jël ñaata gëléegee nga jël from Banjul nga jël gëléegee from KMC West Coast ñu àndaayoo jaxlaayoo féeri yooyu ñoo àndal rek mbooloo la soo loolu nga rek ndax Gambien si ne waaw par exemple Barrow am na crowd fekk crowd boobu yëpp ñoom buubi wàlle la te ñu si ëpp wax na ko fi ñu si ëpp ñu ngi fay gars yi edaka par night ñi ay $2,000 ñu 225 bi ko allowance la gars di jox gars yi soo kenn ku nekk dafa bëgg a dem atteindre loolu ba pare government si génne mu ni yaa ngi fees mu bàyyi baa ngi am free lekka la tiisaan baax na ku nekk nga def adda bi dee ñooñu sax ni nga soona ba dama gëm ne yooyu dañ ko war a xoolaat waaye ba tey député yi nga xam ne ñoom ñooy nekk di approve budget boobu ñoom ñoo war a wax la mbir bi député ñoo nekk di ko yokka su ñëwee si askan bi ñoom ñooy yokka yow loo budget ak lu ngay respect is moo na yow loo budget parce que ministre bi su ñëwee doo ko laaj lu tax lii fan la war a jógee doo ko laaj loolu soo moo ne ñun dañ am problème bi nekkul only central government but if di parlement bi suñu problème la
am na fenn foofu tamit foo xam ne comme mu ngi important si fi tool bi ak naka lañ ko waxatee jël ñi nga xam ne seen xel màccut si faana boobu noonu ñu jox leen comme exemple ni nga ko waxee education agriculture bi ak yooyu noonu waaye naka lañ ko waxatee ne campagne kaay la so my follow up is ne balaa nga koo jox ministerial position te xëy na xam nga ne munut ko waaye soxla nga ndimbalam te amul any other position boo ko mun a jox mu campagne la mu mobiliser la then ministerial position bi nga jox ko ku xelam màcc ci loolu noonu mu def liggéey bi then li xew si village boobu noonu ñantam bulu boobu noonu ne ko na xëy na lii du xew
xam nga mun ngaa séparé government ak sa parti mun ngaa bil parti bi nga xam ne dafa séparé si government ñoom ñuy am seen salaire di am seen bénéfice parti mun naa ron noonu waaye ñoom duñ laal dara sa government nga wut ay technocrate ay technicien ñu amee sa nguur mu dem loolu mun naa possible waaye da nga gis ne ñoom dañ day jël government bi boole ko seen parti so fa la fiiro bi day am boobu mun ngaa jël sa parti ñoroon sa parti because moom nekk na executive committee nga ne waa léegi executive committee parti bi naa meg soo ne dina am salary dina am lii ak lii ñu door ay fundraising door ñoom ñuy xam fa la amee seen xaalis waaye duñ laal xaalis si réew mi bo loolu mun naa am boo da ngaa gis ne Barrow il faut mu award la jox la ne waa kaay nga nekk am na ministre nga xam ne ñu si nguuri Barrow xamul dara deful dara sax dañ toog seen office rek ba lu gaay mun mooy njël téléphone boo jàpp ma ne ñëw sama office nga ñëw ma ne la ma ne dem ana président kaay ñu ci président nga cross café amee xam naa lis amee la duñ def dara even passé ñu ko ibi ba lu am rek mooy yiwu la si président bi nga cross café loolu la ngay am mooy seen liggéey so loolu yóbbu réew politique du yóbbu réew
exemple comme ñan noonu
mais xam nga doo mën a oo néem wala ñu maa ñëw xam nañ ko bala xam nañ
loolu la ma naa loolu la
man wala tout wala ñu maa wax ñoom xam nañ ko amee liggéeyul amee dañ toog seen office nii rek amee la phase duñ ko ibi wala ñu am rek mooy suba bi neen tegal ne waa neen tegal 5 nit war a cross capacity président bu ko bara loolu la bugga taxaw comme lu docteur Gadio wa gaari waal defante loolu gaa bi fu la toll réew bi gaari waal defante man maa amee doole maa amee lii yaay jame nii ñëwee yaay jame xamoon na doole président xamoon na doole yooyu jarul waxtaan
merci bàyyi suma président yi suma xarit bi ndax moo wantala jag taal ma ngeen ko fi so maa ko fi nekkal tey aji
yaa ko fi nekkal
kay
aji dina fi am liggéey tey kon
pour liggéey haji ye docteur muy ay min fo ina san ay ñing to ko fo ina san last week ntol nga ka shajan ina san to meet the people to the optics of it at the end of the day the impact it's meant people believe that you go itani mole kacha amanke ko ye fem fo fan bari anyanta ke la moy lora ina san pour ye mol la moy ila bata ina san ila feta munne man soto je munne mo nyanta soto le ila feta bank president o ye mako nyame ni la moy ite fana ye na yaje ko ye mimbe fo ite ye mim keno yake ye la balul nyaal fali ina san ye la nyap ye nyato ta soto mol ko toñi nyanta kala wo nyama bari iba fola ko amanke wo nyama nyimmo political tool leti because ye state resources use pour kata ka campaign ke mol buka impact soto ji bank duwol dingol man impact soto ji bari lafta fana ye durama ay ñi exemple o min fo ñen loan andon ay min explain jan nte de nga jere ko ye batale nati wo mol yena san wo musola min ka sono ko je ye batale nati bari imam teng lafa yena san ila balunya ite ye woje nyaadi andum wo nyanta falen na nyaadi
first of all abaraka bake I think doctor definitely I more dive to the inside of the wastefulness of this government barole masakunda like mo meta ka fole kanyola kuma ka wole 50 ro watu ka kutani nyotulo kono but Nima sakuna ngamera even the last born of this country should know that this government is not a government me along abe molu nya fitala ko le amene along ko le be banko kambi. Coming to the issue of this meet the farmer store or if you like meet the people store. Yes, one can say constitutional requirement lemu mana it is the constitutional mandated to nimma nyina birin jawara wato la aka kenu but ninto ni ajibe wo watolu comparing those days and be ibajela ko nyinto nyi hana tra na fa soto na fa do ata bakale because let's say jawara wato until kan de kujuma fo wato but it was a need for such engagements from the public servants, in fact the chief public servant down to the grassroots may along can be represented because what more communication is not to where we are today. If in tele abukada sandu sado le tele soto abukala bak radio phone me radio abukala moli privilege balam pour ka radio phone je mobulla o watul ko non whatsapp man soto there's no Instagram, no TikTok,
no internet,
no social media connection. So to
get president
exactly. So the intention of the particular section to authorize the president to have such engagement, I think the intention was genuine. And the purpose was definitely needful at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. But Masakunda, for the president to have first-hand information without relying on appointed public officials. Because Banco Dingole la carte president that gave him the power or had the power to appoint ministers. O minister ole carte fana mako do kola. So pour man tunda tanya jibe to so know whether the government is definitely representing people at fana loi antala jero loi o chance there pour ata ani wo mola interaction soto. At mune ke kan ani wo mola ko la ko muneti. At do ko men ke kan what type of impact as no mo kon laje. Ninta sa soto no this is what was the intention of the constitution.
Right.
Okay. But since that there was a window to abuse it, governments subsequently capitalize on the same constitutional, even though there are, changes in how communication is being, handled globally. Because today, the world is a global village. Means that what is happening in the Gambia here in seconds, you can have it in US. What is happening in US in seconds, you can have it in the Gambia. So President Oko, he is the most informed person in this country. So that means that how I'm living in Sarepras with regard to roads, healthcare sector, education, anyway, agriculture, issues of women guarding and youth empowerment, unemployment, the backway issues, the president is being informed about these issues. He knows them. He knows them very well. So even though the particular clause is maintained in the constitution, means that it's a requirement, but it does not make it that if by force for you to go with a big entourage in that toll, when the motive is clean and clear. But I'm talking about the window that they politicize. Now it's constitutionally mandated. I have to go because the constitution says at least once in a year. So you capitalize on that gap. You use public funds to go and propagate your own personal agenda. President current president can be. Because Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Education, Minister of any ministry you see here, they have directorate in the regions. So in terms of this toll should not even be more than 4 million. They want to go and listen to the people's concern. It can be 4 or 5 million. No matter what inflation system you have here, it can be 4 or 5 million. When I'm president, it's not easy to move, but a president and a technician, not even the ministers, because the ministers are represented in agriculture in the URR, and they know better than the minister. So now the president of the force and influence also, the director of education in URR knows better how education is in URR than the minister. But why the talk? Because the minister and the president are having cabinet meeting every Friday. So, and the president, the constitutional amendment, the president might not rely on the minister alone. He wants to go at the grassroots. And that's where he should rely on the director of education in the regional level and agriculture at the regional level to guide him to the communities. He said the freely without being too partisan. But MCMM forum, that's it. Let's just budget. Because 52 million, let's say, currently, we'll estimate that they want to go. But actually, just look at the gap. Within the election year 2021, look at the gap there. The subsequent budget for it was down. But in 2021, it was inflated. But that was election year. So one can assume, because of that, that intention to win that election, they use monies out of the taxpayers' money to, get what they want politically. Means that it was not meant for only the farmer store, but other issues were involved. So, I will remember for. That's one, just a tip of an iceberg. But even the messaging, let me just conclude this. The messaging, I make a Sunday. I was around there. To raise the concerns of the communities, the challenges they are facing in terms of road infrastructure and other issues. President yes, of course. He was expecting for them to praise him on the work that he has done there, but not to raise concerns of what they are facing through there in their daily lives.
I bet you that Alcalo might not speak on the people again.
Of course. And that automatically has changed the tune in other meetings.
Yes.
Oh, so everybody is being.
Of course, my Alcalo in my village was pressurized to speak on the concerns of the village in Sareperaso. But he was forced to speak the tune the president wanted to hear. You can even see that in his body language. Because I can tell you, all in the after from that big budget, that 40 million, estimate signing, because our issues follow. The community were taxed. The government himself went to our village and called on the community to mobilize funds for themselves so that they can support this store. And $215,000 was mobilized from my own people, the poor people that the president was meant to go and listen to their concerns, the challenges they face in their daily life, so that his government can solve it. They indeed use it otherwise to get funds from the one who is struggling to get a Jimbo for him or herself.
So they have to contribute to support.
You have to contribute to support the meeting in Saraperasu. And that costs $215,000.
Wow.
Let me tell you how. Every woman in my village was taxed to pay $100. Every woman, I mean. Every married woman was taxed to pay $100. You mean that the toll is not a toll to listen to the concerns of the poor people. The toll was meant to mobilize crowd. You could see that in GRTs. In every meeting they did, GRTs will document it, but we make it a crowd-attractive zones. Crowd attractive zones. Just to deceive the audience, to deceive the citizens. My village, you expect that my village, the president will have a meeting there to meet the farmers store. You expect my family to sit down at home, they don't go and participate? If they will go indeed because it's their monies. And we encourage them to go. But the president and their people, his people know very well that village there, what I have, Haji, what I have there is only me who can change that there. But the crowd they are seeing means that they want to use the crowd to deceive other people outside of Pirasu that the president is still being loved. But is that a meeting of Basse constituency alone? Basse alone is having 38 villages. That's a combination of Basse and Jimara. How many villages in Jimara? So if you have funds to send vehicle transport for them, they will eventually appear in the meetings. So the only thing that will buy the crowd to happen is to have the money. Which myself, you are not MPP, I'm not MPP. But our members of parliament, endorse a budget to support the toll on our behalf. For what reason? For the president to go and listen to a concern. But I'm with it. And the toll was meant for the president to hear first-hand information of pro-ammonia. But instead of encouraging first-hand information,
whether it's favorable or not,
yes,
you listen to
the
opportunity to say their mind.
Exactly.
Then you can also do a follow-up to ascertain whether what they're saying it's politics or it's reality.
Absolutely.
And you see how you can help to solve.
That was the intention. That's supposed to be the purpose of it. But the purpose is defeated. So what I can tell you is, Gajigo talked about Limbambolo. But guess what? This government has mobilized funds, a grant from France government to support rice irrigation year-round farming in URR. Limbambolo, Danfakunda, and Alohare, Sotuma Sambang are part of that project. 15 million euro, nobody knows where it goes. You're talking about loan, but this one is a grant. 15 million euros, nobody knows to date where that money goes.
And it's supposed to be...
The French ambassador came here from Senegal. I was standing at Alohare to look at where the project is supposed to start. As we speak, nobody knows.
So were they able to show him something?
A bush was sold. The bush was sold. But up to as we speak, there's nothing that happened there.
A bush.
Of course, I can take you up to there. It's a bush. So Limbambolo is just one in many cases that this government is only trying to put on documents to attract funders to give us loans, but those loans are falling into individual personal pockets, and those people are the president's close associates. That's why when he started saying the Limbambolo and the Danfakunda, I know the person. After we speak, Baron will follow a Kafuko Mintole. And later on, this put your findings. The same people are the ones through that part before they came in there, who have no knowledge of road construction. And then somebody, state house, the person is at state house up to speak. As a cook. End up being a road contract. So
the person was a cook.
Of course.
So the person is now
he's still a cook at State House, but just to give play an interest so that the most very
okay.
They gave him a percentage of that road construction, and that was the one connected to that Fakunda issue. Then State House when cooking so we know a lot about them. But Lele,
so all it takes is you have to be affiliated.
Of course, you have to be affiliated. Just look at the issue he's talking about here. Who is the supplier of the liquid lubricants? Who is the supplier? It's a strong MPP top executive member. And guess what? When we start like MPP, a single development somebody. But ni election ko nanari. Wuli kataji ka fo nalman katifa e nteni mbaro temo be nyamena. Nalman katifa mbaro e nteni mollo le jang. Abi mollo le yes je. Amanta mo kande abi fo kanne. Barate be fo kanne na man la fatela woje. And that's why when you see the auditor is talking about in only 3 years 110 billion was embezzled through theft, lack of following process and procedures and conflict of interests. So this government is not there to deliver in anything that is in public interest. But that's why always when I go back to Dabola, one statement I come in for, this government is led by interest groups. So anything that they are doing, it has to be an interest of somebody, an individual. And that individual has to so borrow himself his interest. So there's no interest of what we call national interest. It's a matter of me, you being friends, and we are able to convince the president based on his own pocketing something from us, then we are good to go. Because I can and you can see that when some imams visited him here around 2019, I mean people like Amar San he only appointed his successors, and their one trip they were able to give him $25,000. But personally, Baro.
Who gave it to him?
He said it.
Oh, okay.
The successors of Amar Sane and Hussein Dabo. Okay. They are only one trip they were able to give him personally $25,000.
Okay.
Personally.
I understand.
They are one trip. That tells you that he is not interested in what brings development for the Gambia. He's only interested if you go and go, what is my share? My share. And the share government will never work in the interest of that public. So, the retard that Gambia is going through today, it's not a matter of whether we have the resources. Go back to April 5th, 2019. Gambia is not an agriculture minister because of his competency or his know-how. He's in agriculture because of his words to lobby for a position, and he promised government he's going to deliver. Listen to his Balakunda, where he's encouraging the communities to engage in cross-border mobilization, particularly in the Senegal Oriental. These are the type of words Baro want to hear. In April 2019, he said the only language that UDP can hear is a language of violence. That's the person who is a minister today. And he said Baro has to speak that language. Go and look at that post. And he tagged you there, MC. At the time, you and I were in 3 years. You were tagged. Yes, that's tag. You see 3 years. MC, no could UDP. Man UDP la wow. No could UDP. Why them before we reference UDP, pour mumuna na askandi. One of them come UDP la. The UDP talks. Can hear only a violent language. So, Mr. President, please speak that language to them. And subsequently, we seen him aligning himself to MPP. Then from MPP now to a Minister of Agriculture. Who is surprised? Nobody is surprised because that's what the president wants to hear. So they made the farmers to, I can tell you, it's just a kind of maybe wasting our energy a bit. But it's something that we definitely, Barrow is working on achieving his goal. Because remember, 2026, the same constitution exists and will empower him to go for the same tour. It's not November. So he will do it around October or around August. Then he has 1, 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of us, the oppositions. From there, IEC will call for campaign. In that 3 weeks also, he has already done his first 3 weeks or for 1 month. He went there to do what thing he thinks is good for him. Then from there, he go and IEC also make an official announcement of campaign period.
Yeah, the campaign window.
The campaign window. Look at this current one. He had a massive rally in Sukuta. That rally followed by this tour. The rally that was happening in Sukuta, one can say, where did they get the funds? Because when you get a tour like this, one expects that you go for your tour because you will obviously get to Sanimentary. But why the tour a week than this made the farmers tour? Where did they get the money? Where did they get the money? And the trend will continue. And this is where Gambians, including oppositions, has to play the cards. If we are really interested in changing the status quo, it is not how we are going.
So when critics say the playing field is not level,
no, it's far from level. It's far from level. Just look at the election bill, current election, I call it election act now because it's just applying his signature, then it became an act. What Jammeh did not do is what Barrow does. When I call him worse than Jammeh, people think that I'm over-exaggerating. He is worse than Jammeh. The current election, if signed by him, is going to be an act. That act is worse than what Jammeh did to Gambians in 22 years. So if one said the level playing ground is even more more dangerous than before. I'm not even saying label. It's dangerous.
Interesting.
It's dangerous. So what Gambia was doing, Barrow triple it. Don't tell me he's not taking guns and kill. No, that doesn't mean it. If the laws exist that enable killing, that the same law maintained by somebody, that person is worse than the one who was using the gun to kill. Of course, Barrow is worse than Jammeh. Jammeh was called as a mistake by many. And Barrow said the Gambians land from Jammeh, Jammeh land. And then Barrow also land. Where's the lessons? Are they eaten by churro? So anyway, the status quo definitely is pathetic.
I'll definitely come back to
yes.
you. I'll definitely come back to you. Bojan, it's like everybody speaks and I get more alarmed by everybody's submission. Bojan, please do me the service of kind of putting down my pressure, please. The tempo down. Because if not, I will collapse here.
It's a very nice panel.
Yes, definitely. For me, honestly.
Flowing.
Yes, definitely.
That's something I can comment on. Very nice.
Yeah.
And
this is the kind of thing you like. I know that.
Knowledge,
Bojang likes knowledge and
that's the truth, sis. You see, sometimes we get somehow emotional because
I guess that's the phase I am in today.
Sometimes
that Gantam Blung
Limbang. Yeah. I wish you go and see there.
Yeah, the Limbang Blung. It's like I'm just kind of like picturing a landfill before and the current state right now.
I have pictures. I'll share them.
If she goes there, you remember I meant to go for la fonciata. You cry. In there all like.
Oh Lord.
No.
Bojan, take it away.
Yes, lot of Gambians may understand. Because and our clients are Gambians. So they should understand that by design, some of us never even thought that we would be on platforms. At least at this age, talking about whatever. But all we are doing is for you. I didn't tell for. Ngamen fali banko me nyato taso dolla kisikisuro na menje wolem e kalafle ye fansoto e ke fansoto nyame wolem hani ide donto wole kala o donto be dunna dural to me yalon sangi lulu sangi tanyato itinete mo donto la kawo ko ke kotek ni o ko fixe la bande sa be kele itality ni ka mo jo mo me yalon 2 million le aboko ide ka mo jo ila jo in 3 years we mo si va sanne amanke hakil mayati amanke fegoti amanke ka alala sunnomo I mean la ka use anyama. No, it's not normal. You know that I some man also ba zoro itele oto ise mi la men kele ba gele se obo no
as a ke itati
just a ke itati ibimo bina wol mama wol mumul bebe na fala je ami be ka ko kono. So ala ndol hakilo da ano ala men be da I mean gena ma koy hada ba do wala ila hakilo wala na jihad ka hajili kengo so wala kay hajilo use a jihado important da ba kala ila dino fawo ila ala kala ala timmala ni ne hakilo use in fact ala ka more punish because of hakilo I mean na ma hakilo they punish ya wala na more memman ko kani na lwa te ka wala nyama tolem lwa man ku no ato e ba sa we can ya every day I'm going to go to the area for the money like it's okay. I ain't going back. We come back to Alefang or Yuna. Because we take our time to dig into some of these things and it's very risky. Just to let you know, but up to now, we decide that no. It's painful sometimes. So Gambian to Delta, be aligned to let it some and Bolajana do for Alevina. That is the truth. You like it or not? Mole bi men ñiñata ala kutu than dolti. Itata. Donle data. So ala do ay kalifol sono andal ko ne kalifol sono banko kan anin dunya kono. Na National Assembly.
Yeah, MC has really mentioned that.
Government anyanda kala ko alka kanti fay menke atije men kumata National Assembly. Woto anen mo men tombonna ke dundu wo bungoto alsalo mo sifa duma lolla
ko mayatale
parce que on National Assembly le sembo so ani president o ka bay ita kela woto ngang mira bake
muna tene te yamira ko ita kela
ene ko chalo songo soto no ifay chalo
Prado so.
You understand? Italo dulato me yalo aka subole diela. Subo mengi na se ka suboti aka wole diela. Italo niwo menka wo diela niwo botaje. Chalo ibuka men soto no. No, ibe mo do state leto. Iba bon leje. But me Dr. Gajigo ke National Assembly. Ala kaito damma ala ABDA pension damma asa balondino anande wor wo mo si fa leo ke National Assembly ye londo sotole ya fahamu kaito te dunia kono kaito me ala abalala koto ata lonna biko akantale bae mo me yalo later on 2 pages for so akatale kari later on manka later on 2 pages kari fa awo understand abuka kimo yebbu ko di wala a gibe pour asina ay fem foje ay karte fa wala kare o ko wit am sama tay amon fall back soto so nim ala pension o dama hani amon diamon dogu asa balon ni no wala na londi tiyo ani me track so ani me lo la soto ko do bu ko wol move back ko do nak setan ba ki move back kadi kala ko min manyin soto ndeta hayna jara min be mun kulti bala ngata jibe be wol men tombonna mo men no basketball sa afaye goto 40 years ala on basketball ko do na masa yo ke National Assembly ba yepaje ro diwo madila man sa kunda be o ene wole ba wo se o man sa kunda kisikisi ay ku fen ay so these are the things we say that on document the National Assembly be for them. Yeah, for them, not be forced to go back. It's not like a budget on you approve. President Patriotic and the left hand in the alley in Subusifa Kenya, alley in Kenya. You know, how do you call it? Delivery date on Libra. So, in Mano, in Cold Bay, like a D. So, Patriotic and I from go left hand in there. It only a B, me might be a Pansotola. So, the point was, look, why must we be buying ground for our farmers? Why? Buying ground and to do what with that ground? We are not going to get any beggar in our supermarkets. We are not going to get any groundnut cake. We are not going to get anything. Imagine how intelligent the Gambian young woman is and even the old. That we are able to use groundnut and make budake. At your home day, you are able to use groundnut and make tianding whatever. But the government itself cannot even produce tianding coma. They cannot produce how do you call it? Whatever you think of. So the point now should be, the focus is, how do we get this ground translated into value added products? Mayalo, I've been told when we go to our supermarkets, we will see them. We go to our shops, we will see them. Wale sembo in na famala because about going up from a main fee now falling down. In fact, government are sana. Individual businesses make our ground turn into something. Well, let me understand and table damning the other day because it will be solar and it will be all year round because they will need that ground to be able to run their factories. So why will the government come with plans to attract private investors who will come into those lines of businesses? That is how you help the country. That's how you help the farmer. Now imagine if government is bankrupt at some point, who's going to buy this thing on the farmers?
The groundnut.
Oh, but why also must it be groundnut? What about kush and millet? Government on the valley. Do na nyo kitchen the ko Hey, the truth is, nin to be wuliare. To never go no. Yes, that's the truth. But we won't let you do somebody.
Let me quickly ask you this groundnut because Sanjo, ngaji ko, you know, sanelal ka problemo so to ka funyi yen na tiyo tale imantol jo. Almost for sama benala kotenke, then sometimes ye jo, you know, demanding and don't do ye today. But the question is, when government buys this tiyo, naya sang, ate kam ke munela.
Look, you see, I always tell people, governance is business. Mo karang nyone maza kunda baka profit ni toya tije ni mbasa baka profit ni mala mba pesa ngo jola fonga profit odiala. Anum tax fonga bugajo. Profit olem. The right thing should have been okay this year. Na nyin nangam tiole sang, nyin nangam kodola. Kabi ngo tiyo sang na wafu nyin nangam lela. But then tiyo sang na iba imanta turn into something meaningful. Iba profit kende fa on soto. That is the struggle why they will be, you know, you can sort of even to be able to have to pay because virtually at some point they will tell you that Gatios and Diamond are found, don't look at fence of a day. You can't afraid in their discussions. We are only doing it to help farmers. What is wrong with you buying ground and see how you go about turning that ground and it will give you 10 times what you got it from the farmer. Next time, you're not struggle to buy from the farmer.
But the problem I have,
but they don't do that.
When you say, well, we don't get anything from it,
that's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say. But again, we don't see what you do, who you sell it, how much you sell it. So we don't see the loss or the surplus or the deficit here.
Yet
we don't see it. But now, why would you continuously every year buying something at a loss? Why don't you leave farmers to sell it themselves? Because they can take it to other countries. But you block that and say, if you see you taking the groundnut to, let's say, Senegal or Guinea or Mali, you get arrested, you get into trouble. So you have to sell it here. They buy it. So I don't understand.
But how do you convince a farmer to vote for you, to think you are the angel, savior, if you are not able to buy his basic groundnut? So if the farmer sells to another country, you lose that leverage as a politician. How do you go to say, I want to talk to farmers when you are not buying even from those farmers? Do you have any more any chance to even with them?
But it looks like they're doing a favor to the farmers.
No, they are doing a favor to themselves. But they will disguise it to those that don't understand that they are doing a favor to the farmers. Because those farmers, the point of connection is when they have their ground, their produce, you are able to buy it from them. You are able to talk to them in the pretext or under the pretext of Nkato le Marco, Natakala problem or Lamoy. But if they are able to sell it to Senegal at a higher price, you go there, they don't even look at you. So what connection can you make? The disconnect will continue. You cannot sell your agenda. You cannot present yourself as a savior. So the government knows really what they are doing regarding this thought. That's why they will not get it out. Because that is what gives them the connection, the ground, the reason to it. But the truth is, if you want to help farmers, it's very simple. Farmers, if they produce millet, government produce value added products. Look, groundnut itself. Let's be frank, groundnut. The grain, the chaff. We are not even going to the leaves and other things. The grain and the chaff. Even the chaff, we use it for biscuit and so many other things.
Yeah.
Why are we ordering wafers from Poland, from Ukraine? Ukraine, they are fighting, they are still supplying also. Go to many markets from Ukraine. Yet we have all these things. Why is it that the agriculture ministry, the president and whoever is relevant, they are not telling us that we want to make these factories now? Not instead of buying from you, we will make these factories, governments will run these factories, and those governments will come and buy directly from you at a better price. And you will now sit in your home and take the wafer that probably comes from your farm.
Because gerte bi naka bantay am
olive
bi am na njëriñ gerte bi si boppam am na njëriñ diw bi am na njëriñ
and do you know that there is a dangerous trend in our agricultural sector that many are not even talking about.
Dangerous what?
This
trend.
Okay.
Yes, this seed, the seeds that they are bringing, putting it into the system, it has no sustainability. It will have an effect. The natural one that we have, they are not maintaining
that one.
Is losing. We are losing what we have.
And it's not the one that is making it. So what
the production level will will diminish, will go
And
down.
that's true, because I work a lot with rural women, farmers.
Farmers, yes.
And this is what they complain. Like every year, it's like their harvest diminishes, goes down.
Absolutely.
Every year,
Absolutely.
goes down.
Absolutely. And the ministry and the government who's supposed to definitely work to safeguard this sector, because this is the only sector that one can rely on as far as what we are calling independent is concerned. If you are not having the self-food sufficiency or the independence in your food sector, you can never be independent. You can never be independent. So Gambia, nguur bi man dama ragal fan lañ nekk di yóbbu réew mi, because xalaat bi moo fa nekkul.
Wow.
Xalaat bi moo fa nekkul.
You see,
You can talk.
yeah, absolutely. You see, God is lovely.
Indeed.
If let's assume it were only groundnut as a plant in this Gambia, only groundnut, any other thing, even within the same groundnut, if you use God's gift, which is the brain, you can get oil, you can get soap, you understand? You can get animal feed, you can get. This just will not end with groundnut alone. You see, that's why when people more careful, Gambia man friends so iman tonya fali tonya tigi alana ni man banku da safe about fen de ise fan samba no nyame ari dunia la no level obedame ye fotaje no, that's not God for you. Wala God ko amam boden kilam bukan. It's up to you to use your brain to see how you go around things. That's why there's no limit as to the thinking. You know now mo mindole ko I am here for a quote. In fact, science told us that we use less than half before we even die.
For capacity.
For capacity.
Thinking capacity.
So that tells you that the infinite blessing of Allah. So mtoka membo gambene ko ninto ndo nombala ba ngoto menna wa al mansa kuna membina na chalo aba tonna nyali ndo sardine and other oil nka wafi bantala banko ma nka kodo soto na tiro damma manke sene fengoti nka men sene na nyo sotole na findo sotole nko ni mansa ka balsan bal men bodna form our reals woda mara mu la fagolti nim mansa kunda na cabinet to na official to kapitale la on ni kol men dogo e ka wala sa mo ko be pula ganne ay roti ndamal. There is a very simple way of how we go around these things.
Before exporting them.
Yes.
You know, we
this is it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So don't get for call. One year sifa aning a talman de bulo wala nyanta nala instead of katoro to ni men beke nafat ye parce que ite men biye ibita kan mo to la to mo malo wala kara to ike won jole ite to la ga ko man nada ka lamin ne je lamin ni moto me ya sammanan ma sekunda ya biala AC ba ko fu fo be ba ko no hani de mo wa bi jele ba wokan
frijol be jele
ba hani wokan
frijo be motol kono.
yes sir.
Of course hani wokan ika jole min kamala ite ko do men dajale pour asinalum ta yala iya.
Why can't we go on a tour? What does it take to go on a tour?
You go and join, they will take you now. So what make a joy? But it cannot get it me it became from you. So ni political member kono it is not I stop. So ndola the government understand. Ko ndol, we are not haters of President Bago or anybody. But if you know us, you know that we don't have faces of hate. We don't have it. But all we are saying is we think we could do better. We think this country could have gone to another level 7 times faster. And probably Gambia may not have any president as lucky as President Bago. Gambia of Ranian can you know. As the Keno, I'll need the president also to Lanim Bankung Kang, may along also. The point is this: for you to build a country, you need to have international goodwill. Bago has 100%, 110% of that.
Yeah, coming in, definitely, there was huge support.
You understand?
Yeah.
You cannot go alone. You have to have a support mechanism. And that international support mechanism was there for President Bago.
Right.
He blundered it. He squandered it.
He didn't make good
That's use of it. Yes, absolutely.
Interesting. That's a missed
So
opportunity.
probably there is no other president that will come and have that level, because you have an opportunity that they will squander it.
Yeah.
So that ambassador goodwill was President Bauer. All he needed to do was come, enter. He squandered all that. Look, to end, the rule in business is never give work or hire someone you cannot fire. If you hire the guy who is giving you 25 million when he goes on a trip, or you hire your daughter's husband, or you hire your brother, how do you go about fighting him when he does one? I think it's only Jamie that I have seen something like that. Those who can go beyond to do whatever. Fire. He doesn't care. So Bauer has surrounded himself with people that he can literally not fire. Constitutionally, yes, but he, based on the relationship and all these favors, he cannot. And the biggest threat we have is the Gambia is small. The business community, they are after their interests, and they are the ones who are behind President Bauer. This is the big fight that we have.
They're only after their margins.
Yes, that is it.
Wherever they can get it, whoever can provide it for them, that's what they're going to follow, and it's an interest base for. So for
that's why that decision of Honorable Dabo is okay. Government led by interest groups. Absolutely.
Okay, what time been here law? Why again being could they want to exhaust all within the time because program the time la. Why bugana legi pour you move GS right? Link fi wax yeb nga kumol me be minfo ntol be d'accord ko okay kool man tarata kan nyama. Falindiro nyanta kela mol nyante fanjila you san banku coal kan you understand sai Dr. Gajigo itebe sirinjang and you're wearing now this hat of soon to be a party leader of a political party right? Protective Progressive Alliance right?
Patriotic.
Yeah, Patriotic Progressive Alliance PPA nice name. You know, all these fancy names, you know, come
I like the word progressive.
Yeah, exactly. Patriotic, the patriotic part. Patriotic Progressive Alliance, right? And they say progress through patriotism and unity. Right? Now, can you tell us, you as a potential party leader, gum bi moyne li nekk di am warut ni ñi nekk ci boppi nguur bi ni ñoo doxalee jaaduwut gom-gom bi mooy ne xaalis réew mi nim néew nekkuñ di ko dugal fu mu war a dugal ñu ngi koy luubal léegi yow ànduloo ak loolu noonu pare nga pour ñëw sampa sa ndinda ne dama bugg a sampa parti ma nit ma jongante pour ne ma jël li nga xam ne mooy dogalin bi right nekk da commander in chief the in my mind Jobati was the chief civil servant yow ci lu gàtta ñaar o ñetta yow bu dee ne yow yaa fa newoon tey ka fa nekku di def lu war nga nekka political party taxaw election nga win ko mooy mbébét bi lan nga foog ne nga mun a def different pour wecci li ñooy wax ne ci ñaar naka si three things yoo xam ne paramount yow am nga xam-xam bi te di nga ko wecci ba nga xam ne askan bi dinañ ci gis seen boppa ba tax Bantaba duñ toog fii Dr. Gajigo président you understand bañ ko doon wax mu fa toogoon mu ne lii ali waaye moom it niñ koy joxe ñee ci Adama Barrow nga ñëw fall that in that shoes.
No, it's a great question. You know, the first thing for me is I told people a few years back, if you were to ask me if I had any political aspirations ambitions, I would say absolutely not. Yes. But if you are in the Gambia, you have been here through these 2 terms of Adama Barrow. The promise, the goodwill, the promise that we had coming 2016. Because I left my international job in 2015. I resigned to come back in 2015 to start my firm. So I was here. During those campaigns, we start to get hope. And then we see what was happening.
So you came back to country in 2016?
Yes.
Okay, and you resigned?
Yes.
Because you wanted to come back?
Exactly.
And do something here?
Exactly.
But at a time, there was no political ambition?
Absolutely not. I came here, the first thing I did was buy land, started farms in different parts of the country.
Right.
In Combo here, in Badibu, and in URR. So But if you are in the country and you see things are going in a certain way, and then you ask yourself, as somebody who wants a better thing for your country, now you have to realize there are some people who there is no shortage of Gambians who can do a far better job than Adama Barrow. There is no shortage.
Gambians are talented.
Yes, there is. Now the thing is, not all of us are in a particular position at a given point in time to be able to take that step.
Right.
Yeah. So if you are an individual, and even though that was not initially part of your career ambitions, you know, because when I left the ADB to come here, I wanted to go into farming, agriculture, you know. So when you come here, you see what is happening.
Now it speaks to why you're so passionate about, you know, the flaws that are happening in the agricultural sector.
Yeah, no, so you see all of that, and you believe that, yes, you talk to people also who you believe can be in a good position to help the country. But the first thing people will tell you, don't enter politics, is very dirty.
Yes.
Yeah. Many of them will tell you, Gajigo looking at the opportunities that you have, you can return to ADB. And I briefly return, in fact, you can, you can do consultancies, international consultancies, which I did. I didn't do any local consultancies. Why go through? But then you ask yourself, why is our politics the way it is? Because, for the most part, not every politician in it, but for the most part, particularly this Adama Barrow regime, you have people who are in there, not for the national interest. They are not motivated by patriotism. They are there for the self-interest. In fact, when I resigned, I briefly went to work for FAO in Rome, and I came back. I actually contacted, some people that I know that, if you need any help in any ministry, I'm available on one condition: I don't want the salary.
Yeah, you offer your services.
Yes, I'll offer it in any position. I'm not looking for anybody. Anywhere I can assist. Even as recently as a few years ago, some of these current ministers, they receive documents from the World Bank that they can't read. So, hey, Dr. Gajigo, can you help us understand this? Because I know I'm doing it for the country. Because you have a minister there who doesn't understand a simplified document that World Bank is already sending to them, and they're the minister. That's a very sad situation.
That's a dangerous
thing you have at Parliament. People that cannot read 2-page letters.
So you have this thing. You sit down and you reflect. You sit down, you reflect, and then say, okay, I have the option of avoiding the mods, the attacks in politics. I can live very comfortably. I can go and live in the US even if I want. But the Gambia that I envision is very different from what we are walking into. So I decided, as a patriotic Gambian, what we need in this country is more people who are going in, who are motivated by the common good. Maybe it's not going to be me, but if it's going to be somebody tomorrow who's going to take the country far forward, let that happen. Because right now, the way things are going, if they continue like this, we'll be here in our 70s and 80s.
Right.
And the issues we'll be grappling with will be far worse than today, as bad as they are right now. So, for me, this has been my motivation to enter politics. I am not there for salary. My last salary at ADB is more than Adama Barrow's salary, so why would I go? I am not there for positions. If I wanted, there were requests for me to meet. I turned them all down the time I was here. I would meet mid-level bureaucrats and others, but I have no reason to go and meet the political president, even though when some of his close advisors tell him, the president reads your articles he wants. I said, good, he has advisors around him. He can continue to read my article. Yeah. But I gave him hope. I gave him benefit of the doubt at the beginning, but I saw things deteriorating over time. So for me, this party here, we believe when a new party comes in, defeating Adama Barrow is just part of the solution. The other solution is having a new government that will bring a real change. Because right now, the problems we have, it's systemic, but at the top of the list is leadership problem. So you need to have a leader who will select officers, from ministers downward, based on competency. You need to make sure that the officers that are in any position, any key decision-making authority, these are people motivated by their patriotism. You should be able to do a simple background check to know If Ousman Gajigo says he worked at the ADB, it should be easy to verify. If he says he worked at the UN, it should be easy to verify. You have people who met this president who claim they had a bachelor's, master's, and PhD. Turns out even a bachelor's they don't have.
They don't have.
I exposed them in one of a few years back in 2019. The thing is that we need to have a systemic change. So we need to have somebody, a leader, who will come understand the problem. It's not tainted by what has happened in the past. I've never worked in this government. It's not going to be bought by special interests. Because these special interests, I mentioned them by name. I don't beat around the bush. Even the one I talked about in the Limamulu project, when I'm done, I write directly because I've mentioned that individual by name in multiple articles. I pray he takes me to court so that we can have all of the investigations.
That one is evident. He cannot.
So, the thing here is, for me, this is what brought me in, which is why our name is very important. The patriotism. Because when we talk about the system change, those are one of the things we need to make sure it's inculcated among existing leaders, but to make sure that the future adults have patriotism at their heart, they are driven by that. We need to make sure we have civic education as early in the country as possible.
Catch them young.
Yes. And you make sure that everyone in government, you are appointed based purely on competence, not your connection, not your relationship with the president or any other influential person. The Gambia today, the problem is not because we are lack of resources. No. The budget we have, if you spend it well, a lot of these things the president is saying that he is, falsely claiming as accomplishment, which are actually failures. We could have done it easily. The 200 million we paid car powership. We could have gotten that from a cut from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs over a 5-year period. We give $20 million to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You will hear some government officials or ministries of education crying about the grants they're supposed to get. They didn't get it. But how many diplomats in useless embassies have you heard about crying about their delay in their salaries or their allowances?
Yeah,
you don't hear. Because for
operational monies and all that doesn't come on time.
It comes on time, they don't complete, and they are doing a lot of businesses on the side and engaging in all sort of behavior that is bringing shame and embarrassment to the country. So the Gambia is possible for us to have development. We shouldn't look at somebody who knows, who talks fluidly. We need to look at track record. We need to make sure they understand the Gambian problems. And we need to make sure any government that's coming in, if you are not prioritizing the agricultural sector, you have no idea how to manage the Gambian economy that we have. Because if you don't have food security, if you have no meal in your stomach, you are not going to go and spend 300 on cash power. You will not go and spend several $100 joining a bus on a well-paved road if you are very hungry. Food is fundamental. And Gambia here, we have all of the resources to make sure that food security is achieved. I've written about how it is. I worked on many rice projects when I was at ADB, in many other international organizations, including in Senegal, in Mali, in Mexico. I've seen how countries go from very, very poor state in a short time period to a very admirable state. Gambia and Senegal, we had the same rice productivity in 1994. Now they are 4 times higher than the Gambia.
Wow.
There is you cannot talk about the assistance that they had over that time period that we didn't have. We've had it. It's just been squandered, just like the Limbambulu project. Enough time has passed to know that Adama Barrow is an unmitigated failure and disaster. Enough time has passed.
It's a new word, unmitigated.
It's not mitigated. So the question now is, let's look at the field and make a decision for the future. Removing Adama Barrow, it's part of the solution. Who we replace him with? As he has said, there is only a finite amount of goodwill people can have. If I'm giving you goodwill this time, you squander it. Another year, you squander it. At some point, you come back to me, even if you are crying blood.
I will not give
people will not. And sadly, we are approaching that territory because development assistance to the Gambia has been on a downward trajectory. And that happens because the international community is losing faith in this government. I've done missions at Rwanda for the World Bank. There, the donor representatives and NGOs, they are scrambling to come in. Some of them are begging to have meetings with the ministers because they want to ride on success. They like a success story. Even if you tell them we don't need it, they'll beg to give you assistance because they want to see success and they want to associate themselves with success. So ask yourself, if you have a country where development assistance is falling over time, you have a big problem. Yeah. So for me, I'll tell people, I looked at the political landscape. I didn't like what I see. I know there is possibility for change.
To be specific, when you say you look at it, you don't like what you see.
Yes.
Specifically, one thing that it's part of the motivation to feel like I cannot just sit on the side in my comfort zone, but I have to throw my hat into the field because I believe I have the capacity, the competence, the know-how to bring about the change. One thing you think it's a disaster that needs to change that you believe you can bring on.
Look at the current coalition in the president's party. The people who are there, who a few years ago were so-called in the opposition. But over time, they slowly made the beeline to go out. Some of them, they say for survival. Some of them, crafted some very fine-looking statement. Some of them didn't even bother, But we've seen.
Near for no politician in Nengol dia, ite fana sign. Say consider no ko ite mo politician no.
But
for ite fana it part of that basket. Me along ko politician go in Nengol dia.
Very good question. And it can you karo min ka kumayata. Politician nata a lot of more nyato. Nyanta ka nyin ka question difficult ringol. Akana ke nyin consult me along ko abi foyaring. Me along ko ibesa answer no easily. Of course, ebe mi nyinin kala question dola ni ndo amanya na kala clean because ba nyinin kala min na nyanta base la track record leka. Ntani me moy diamo la. Million long kabri mu dinne wote. Yalon diamo mang sono yante bulu. Sanda fa unte ka diamo ke bake te bari mte mo million long kabri mu dinne wote. Ngana dindi yake in Kantora, in Sabak Sanjal, na fa dafa na muti jalti nga sati jamal ma, ngana high school ki Nusrat, bar mo nyinin ka million te long na track record. For Ousman Gajigo multi mialanko diamo no. Yeah. But it mean fola. I mean, it's a mean fola na karola. Na sobeya. Fanang mialonka mankin tati mbukama. Nunko moye ko mbenyinkela nkakele. Ndaga nga project ko mialonka sate wol makoy. Last year nga sate tansale makoy musul ke makoy nyingarin fengola. Nyinambe nga tankonon dole fenke. Mfele na fengol bari wo sato wol nyininka jama fa fonte ke nka lole nge promise mbina me ko kelale ngana bay itel ka wulle lunkile lummen nan banati la nka detail la so kela question no answer ndey num fola mole don ali lambe ndeke diamu nyame nanen diaro wote banna may fati nyole lambe la diamu la Ismaila Cissé isi diamu jande ndara min fola ngalo ne because jandim benda la folon kata na kiskis role kele na karo nyante min kala be fo ven kala sobe ay taraji to nyaay taraji bare komin wonen dia melo hani fente bulu hani to nyaate bulu yelo mo nyaato ya daale be diamula o politician o mil ka okay bi jele million telo mil fanan kabirinta ngana kabiringa start kana public life mo si min fo non tele karola mo bi jele mo ke ibuke fanje no mo le kafo barna ya trante mo lente lon no nendiala wo be lon nale numbi maro mo ta fala ko docteur Gajigo mo nendiare ngolti because mbe fo fola nka make so ko substance taraji ya to na taraji nimman hanim ba fola moye ko amala do ko lon ko min kam fo sidikete nka evidence le nati
monate ne yo fo
mo nan nango fo ntel wala bro ngafo ko I'll just give an example. Minister of Higher Education, what's his name? Gomez. I'll just say Professor Gomez. Yeah, like he's a bad minister. Nandi. Ita mo lang bofola. Nimbo fola. Abe dalilo sotola. Niaje malo nena malo ngofo. Man dalilo soto ka okay. So President Miya long ko be garu ale kela. Ko mi mu dinni ngolte. Aussi fa nyantalo na president mi yalan ka be sila bakela adam baro ka ba bina mo ma kuma kiskis mbe korokori ne mu jamme boji barbi ku jama bije nta kanita ni mol natti seno ni mani seno ko be wosta adam baro ko dina jamme you know bari science momo lota banko abi banko nyininna akombe banko nyininna amari manki dindinti amari mu kebat nyanta science ka ko ma kiskis ngala track record lo nga nyinin ka e minke you know
Interesting.
So ninga okay sama min mansa min sotola be president min sotola mafo mansa be president min sotola ndere duwa kam min nga soto min be banko sambala nyaato naka dan telde ndengalo I have a burden I have a burden to go and bring development na man ken teti be duwa la ke moti min si banko samba nyaato because nim banko man ta nyaato ndele be batala bari ngalo ne adam baro wonte
Science ninge moy asake iteti asake modola ya understand
ala leka man sayadi
ala leka bari mol fanang la katakuo fanang ase you know was to contribute no back bari in lafta kamunege ite lafta ayeke iteti bite parce que ite la jikilo ko ite sakenu bari ning ala la ko ayake ko amanke ayake modola bari wo fanang aye banku je you know banku je aye banku dingol je andum Allah fita ka doku wokela andum aba katakane fo ite you know ibe Gambia jang ite isake mo mi yanoko ite ni wo ye denno ali doku woke pour ite fana ila knowledge ila sa expertise ya kafu ate ye min soto because ye expert ko fo le jang e ko leader dorong attaque nola a nyanta mol soto la a fe mi yalon ko ye expertise soto ye experience soto ye competence soto andum il lafita do ko la
manno
manno so fo ite saka wo moti mi yalon ko ita fo lante ma soto wala tenan messi la doron nka kaja fero ke ka criticize ke fo election do nga try ko tenke it is
no okay then sa answer no directly then kala o mode because me de dundi nyin kono wala banko nyatota ko be ngafo jaay mo jamal bi Gambia bi mil si banko marono mil tambita adam baroti amanke te damma do ne sa keno bari ngalo le ku jama bi je mo jamal bi mil yalon ko isa keno jama bi je iboka haji kadum politiko ko ko na politiko nota isi lo nte nga comme jamal leje mi ba fenkela do ne man ne wol mam mit fam ibe kudol fo la nyeten ninte man dum politiko kono wol nam anki kan jeyte fem fo la nyi ha bari niyaje bedum dañin kono banko la ko so ninte sita bi comme ne da fo ñu mas ku ndaye nyame nti do ko ke masula jola nim do lota nte believe ta ko nyin aya londo sotole aya karango sotole aya fero sotole am moti mi alan ko atilinta ay do ko asa kinole aman jare fa ngatra masakunda cause ngam fo mole ilo ka masakunda support aman jare la government isi tarno le private sector hana te mi be media jabe min ke ka nyimbe banko samba ka nyaatu nyek accountability nati isi banko support no in various ways nsita buru na famto banko do manta bantambili banko nyaatu isi banko support no I also don't mind sita no nga joy masakunda min ko mayata tedro min be banko samba la nyaatu
ye contribute
de duwa ka wolla ndaw nga lo nder niaje mbe duna ko kono ndena believe le have no doubt nsidale reflecta kan ngalo ne mbe dun kan je min nam mantra ko di na mantra place ni wala mbe dun kan nyun ko ka banko samba nyaatu nyin salary hani mante jola ndebe balu no wala ninde lafta bi ka muru ADB wala pantina organisation amon ko lembul
so okay president oti salary ta nte la fitala ya dedicate nte la dorom salary ta ila jole
so ni okay ntel wolem tella fenkoti della emti ni woketa banko ita nyaato guru mbe nyin alhalu min kono ndingol ni ko sa ntel ta fenketa le sa mbe mira kan dingol ni mamari ngol wol kana tara ku kono miyalon ko nintel sama mimbe siring na dindingol na mamari ngol nata ko grandpa ite mune contribute
be mantoro min kono
ate mune wala dal man ko falen ka biring asa fali no wato men nsi lo la nga fo ko ngan taro kele ngan kato kele ngin ni le ka so
be sayni kan MC de nga doctor again it is we have currently 22 registered political parties, and things the deme nuru na ne dinañ am more. Man duma surprise by the time elections or window be close to register political parties. Duma surprise ñu am nañ 30 registered political parties. And of course we're going to independent ñi nga xamne amon nañ bébé bi pour register waaye mënuñ ko def parce que time mayu lañ ko dinañ ne their independence and all that. So dinañ am ñu bare waaye déglu nga docteur am sure ne nekk na koo xam ne danga ko dee toppa danga ko dee follow ak yooyu noonu di ko bàyyi xel ci contribution sam ak yooyu noonu moom it mu ñëw ne dafa bëgg a sampandi naam form a political party bokk ci jongante gi nii pour li nga xam ne mooy number 1 state Marina Parade pour jël ko pour wéccu bi because li orbe fa naa ne dinañ nangu ne yow it d'accord nga ne wécci lu war a am la léegi moom mu ngi wax ne moom wécci boobu noonu mun na koo indi te bu ko indee it on attanga li Gambien si di ñaxtu di jooytu moom nekk na koo xam ne mun na koo indil Gambien si lan mooy si sa xalaat ci loolu noonu.
jërëjëf Ndeye foog naa ne moom ci koo xam ne doomi réew nga. ak ko mun di bokka mun ngaa ut réew. loolu moom kenn warul koo bañ a kenn. docteur yàgg naa bina yàgg naa wax si tolluwaay réew mi parce que ñëpp nangul nañ ko ne xarañ na. am na éducation bi am na expérience so daf day wax ni mun leen toll fu nga xam ne Gambia comme ni nga ko waxee leen soxla système bi leen war a rey because
système bi lañ war a rey yow du ne wéccere dañ ko war a rey
loolu fekk réew la système bi keneen ku ñëwaat dafa répété technique mooy am ret because soo xoolee nguuri Barrow dafa mel ne yaajee moo fa génn ba tey système yi jàmm mu nekk di continuer moo gën a léegi la gën a wax laa mën a wax parce que léegi fu mu nekk nii Barrow ay doon ki yàlla la mu amee réew dama ko def ñu wax ñetti fan mu jeex leen ñu wax ba Gambie si dañ ne constat Gambie si léegi Gambie seen wax du dee yaaga ñetti fan rek coow bi jeex na so foog naa ne ñu ngi ko welcome bu baax si mu bokk si jongante bi because tam lii leen soxla ñu xam ne tam ñu am expérience ñu mën a yóbbu réew ñu ñoo bokk si politique bi. because politique bi dama gëm ne marché docteur Gadio dañ si war a bokk. because tey soo xoolee lu mu wax fi di analyse issues yi ak programme si lii leen soxla. soxla wuñ politique di defante taxaw di attaquante di saagante xasante politique issues and programmes. because li mu fi wax yëpp ay programme la fi teg. with facts and evidence yoo xam ne mu ngi ko teg. ñëw rek pour taxaw di tuumal neene o tuumal MC wala nii de dafa ñëw ici ay évidence teg ko te yàlla na di ko def so foog naa ne moom political party moom lu gën a am solo mooy nga build sa base sa structure si dafa am solo reach out to everyone bul xeeb kenn bul ndawloo kenn tam maanaam lay wax ne even di woor ne kii nekk doomi réew man nanguwuma ko si politics ne kii foreigner la waaw because foreigner bi tey mun naa am jabar mun na fi am doom mun na fi am compagnie employé fi ay Gambians di fay tax so kooku dafa war a xam na nga ko war a manager because di moo ragali sa parti rek yow pour nga am dara si moom dafa difficult because ñum employé ay doomi réew leen so mun na wax ne man du sàngam soo leen ko sànni la carte man damaa pax ma bëgg a ñibbi so yow dafa da nga ko war a may confidence da nga war a may mu am confidence ne moom keneen ku mu di ñëw dina am jaama si réew mi so foog naa ne comme moom dugg na si politique bi ñu ngi ko bàyyi xel because soo xoolee yàgg naa wax ne amul interest si politique but officially léegi door di wax ne moom bokk na summit yi IEC ne war di fast track seen process bi tam because of di slow trop because soo submité sa documents yi within 1 month war nañ laa mën a jox certificates submité all the requirement pour form a political party bon dafaa jël almost 6 months or 7 months ba tey yaa ngi toog time di xaar war ngaa mën a jóg prepare def sa structure si def sa bëgg requirement si dafa am tam because political party da nga war a am di entire region fu nekk da nga fa war a am office da nga fa war a am structure so su nekkee nañ te ne ba ay few months to élection ñu ne jox la certificate yaa ngi strugulaat sa structure si fii campagne fund fi campagne matériel bi office dafa métti parce que ay foog naa is high time ñu fast track time yi jàmmee 3 months ñu jox la certificate ne register as a political party so dama gëm ne parce que ay ni nga war a xoolaat parti yi tam because ñi ngi register party am na register ni ngaay lu yaaga waaye nekkul di function xam nga so like people like GMC people like CA ñoom ñëpp li fi nekk léegi mooy welcome président Barrow nekk si boss bi nekk ay personnes yu egg di wàcca so dafa baax ñu GMC mooy Fati so waaw so da nga gis ne am na parti ak GPDP suma brother Henry understand nga maa ngi ko nuyu suma xarit la so ñoom ñëpp xam nga
Henry mu ngi NPP 21
waaw mu ngi arrangé waaw so mooy balu waaw
mu ngi si dëkk bi
mu ngi fi dañu ne si airport bi keroog maanaam moom mu ngi receive ay ganam yu jóge xam moon dikka
just to the politicians are like most when it comes to comedy is Henry I if I'm scrolling and I see them I can't pass.
That was smart.
No, I get it.
No, don't do that.
No more day all of you think I did? No, everyone got me home. All about
When we say in India,
okay, those are the times.
Example, right?
So aku boleh kornalo di manu tidak taye dah macam masuk.
So from now I see the only whole atom political party have been registered at Yaga. So by participate elections. Don't tahu council election, don't tahu chairman or mayor or MP. They are more on going for workshop and member of the inter-party committee. Wow, so what they making you tahu we are inter-party committee. So we didn't go a whole lot. Gajigo da one programs. I'm sorry one them. Lal some of these manifestos na pere na in Gambia and so go all them. They are Lilin Buga because them solar room is soppy. The solar room have system being correct. Am system bu S. ñu xamal tey ñu xoolaat tolluwaay réew mi because réew nekkul ne liggéey tali ak liggéey biir ret loolu mooy développé réew moo gën a yomb si liggéey nguur waaw so ñu mënam ko def fu nekk because benn grande la oo loon bu tegu la boo soo liggéey réew mu ngay dem mooy économie bi mooy number one donc ñu gis ne léegi Gambie am na suñu añee du reer ni yaa ngi doo si office yi daw di taxaw di la wóor si office yi soo demee léegi office yi yaa ngi taxaw di la ut fu nekk yow ñëw sa office dugga bilaay dimbale mat bàyyi ma dara kër suma doom baa ngi tëdd lopitaan amul garab yaa ngi sonn si dëkk bi so mooy léegi président su ootee am na ñu fa taxaw sax xam nga dama ko def always gis nga karab bu gaa di wax ni yaa jëme 2016 yaa jëme karab yaa jëme nu génnee midi people tooy yaa jëme last midi people tooy yaa jëme bi ñu gis nañ ko fi
fii Sukuta
waaw gis nañ ko fi jàmme karab jàmme ñu génne ñu ne amee moom jël dem élection yaa jëme ma even daay soo ñu ne dañ bokk élection bi ñu ñaan noonu conflit bi bokk élection bi ak jàmme
parce que demoon nañ ne benn mos
luus waaw ñu ko doon ko 2016 ñaar woon yaa moom jël dem élection yaa jëme dafa winaal rek so comme ñu nekkul ne am na ñu ngi àndaayoo sax fekk seen nekkaatu si yow waaye di nga ragal bi ko seen dépense bi doon nekka so da ngaa gis ne il faut ñu xoolaat wala itam I think political party itam AIC dañ ko war a xoolaat ñu samit tam meet requirements itam jox leen seen certificate ñu door seen grâce AIC yoo ne léegi bu kenn dem di ànd ak political party affaire nekkaaguloo registré agul la so ñoo war a gàddu seen liggéey itam.
waaye léegi just to follow up on that. fooguloo tamit ne IEC bi ok pour register ku nekk mën ngaa register su dee ne meet nga requirements because requirements itam soo ko xoolee di very very like low basic right pour register but then xam nga this new election act bi ñu ngi égal the nomination fee bi like for all elections ndax loolu nekkut efforts of trying to also minimize cut down on the number of anybody just being on the ballot box, te fekk xëy na amuloo need and just increase and cost be in terms of logistics. It's a means of trying to regulate that.
am nga soo xoolee ñu registré nii yëpp that's 25 booy wax na mo 22 booy wax nii ñu def élection du romb 5 or 6 ñu def élection du romb loolu last élection gis nañ ko fii am nañu mekobu ana seen jabar yi mekobu ñu soo xaftaane rëy dem ba AIC ñu disqualifié la ñu taxaw di complain fekk na mitul requirements yaa ngi xam nga sax amul requirements yi
yow bi nga dem
yow sax xam nga ne waaw mitul la ko wala solo nga sa faal si
maa ngi ne seen candidat
solo nga sa jabar
man de on ma MC lu ma wax
So kon ñu register ñu si ëpp xoolal right now ñu ana baro dara am na juuri fa nekk ñu ci MC 10.6 la na 10 daje na waaw na leer dak so ñu rek donc dañu leer rek la ñu fu leer da dara gaay yi ñepp ana baro ci ko la dem élection te mu dem élection amu ko dem so may faati yow ñu dem waaw so ko ñooñu kenn du ci compte ñoom wax nañ ko ne ñoom baro may seen kadi ñu def élection Gambia du ñu bari parce que ñu leen bari coow lu bari adu fu ndé mujjé moy dem ana nguur pour nekk ambassadeur wala pour ñu diggal dara o jël ben 100,000 ou 200,000 nga support président ñu jël ben pick up def la fa essence fa amul na fi last election am na ko tok fi muy chalit yaa ngi won muy chalit fi mom dafa reju dama ana président bi so am na fi so yaa gis ne ñuy register parti yi so wax duñ def election because don't need requirements so
anu bon tie won ay few dollars
waaw so am na ko taw fi waaw so fu naa ne li gën a am solo mooy Dr. Gajigo laa wel ko bu baax waaw because man dama gëm ne ci foo xam ne doomi réew mi nga war ngaa ut toogu président bi loolu laa gëm ak fu waay mun di bokk even di po femme am na day pour ut naka réew mi loolu laa gëm waaw so foog naa ne as far as yow am nga requirements yi am nga technical know how am nga experience so yaa ngi welcome but the product mooy yow sa min nga ko because attaque bi Musa Kaw do def faale évidemment ngay attaque ko ñu ministre yaa ngi ko attaque lefan raay ba tey mu ngi strong loolu politique africaine noonu la politique africaine moom attaque bi ñëw personnel attaque bi surtout mooy fu ñu daa nga strong rek soo strong rek dañ ko romba because tam moto bu nekk si gannaaw kenn du ko xoon ku nekk si gannaaw la ñu xoon jërëjëf
political strategies MC the same submission. Several political parties, 22 and more in waiting. I mean, you're also from one of the opposition political parties. You have somebody who's coming to join the crusade and all that. You know, you've had Dr. Gajigo, you know what he has said and his intentions and aspirations and believes that he can bring about the change if Gambians really entrust him with the mandate of a term to rule and govern, because the belief is, which you also believe, that this current administration is not doing what it's expected of them, what the people want, what the Gambians want. What say you? Is a mune foje?
Yeah, you know, I want to describe unmitigated failure.
I know.
So anybody come.
So nothing can be done now.
No, nobody can save us from, as far as this Barrow government is concerned. You know, it's just like somebody on top of a tree. When you're coming down, I'm not seeing anybody who can then mitigate that pump. So government is already pump on the barrel. I welcome Dr. Gajigo, and I think reasons for coming into the political arena is very clear. The people has to be coming with visions, regardless of what differences we might have. But at the end of the day, it is only going to be one person elected.
Right.
And that person must be the right person. And we will go to the block. So they are going to be constructive in whether they are criticism, but at the end of the day, if we fire coming for the home Tonyat. And that is definitely who Dr. Gajigo is. But anyway, ning alana kake opposition political party to challenge this current status quo. Every citizen should welcome it. Sembo abekafoleto, and the more oppositions are coming out, the more weight we are going to get against Barrow. Unless and until ning opposition should register in the sake of registering, But just to go and do it, come 2021, there are people like 10 point that then, at the end of the day, they cry that the constitution should not be, thrown out. They cry publicly. At the end of the day, we have seen them go and align themselves with the same system. So, I think there's hope. And there's light at the end of the tunnel. And then Dr. Gajigo tell me to ala Patriotic manya na kami found Patriotic manya na kami ka register.
Well, it takes time.
Yeah, it will even take more time.
Was it last week we had a GEP, Golden Era Party. They also lamented the same thing. They've been waiting,
for almost 1 year.
Exactly gotten the
that's more than 1 year because after 2021 yung amere tefanay la submission got the golden era. That was not the golden era. There's another party me along ko register along. I think was it that Mr. Fall party.
Okay.
Will also submit after 2021. It took them 3 years. Papa Fall, exactly. So, but these are techniques me along ko. If corruption is consuming a nation, these are the tricks corrupt people will apply. Anybody they know they cannot corrupt you. They will definitely traumatize you at the other side. But the best is keep believing in yourself that you can do it and fight that definitely you want the result. So the result is benalale. Tell me for policies and programs are what politicians who debate men come. Bankula suro ben politician bella bankudo bella but more over politician. Because BDB politician da malesi nyim banko dung unite no. Because in some balanta bang people are partisan. Yeah, citizens are partisan. We belong to political parties. And then that's why sometimes I don't even believe in the silent majority. Every Gambian belongs to a political organization, whether openly or behind the scene. So, it is us, the politicians, who can do it. Because when you speak, you have followers. When I speak, I have followers. The other one speak, he or she has followers. So, to fight for a common goal, only oppositional bill, long count. Because you know, many can norma. Ibaluna le tonya the next moment la taka banko karafela. It left like a deliver to expectation. Because Baro is out of it. Baro ngamo ya mambe baka na toko na memfo mobo ya mwele. Akata promista I deliver it. That's an insult to become a Wi-Fi. I promise me. It is the Banjul Bara Bridge. It's an insult. Because I followed I once heard you speaking about it when you are exposing them on the bridge, the Serengambia bridge. No, Baro said he has already mobilized those funds. After Malapuru, contract stone and it will take them almost for 3 years, 3 years or 4 years. We only beat them how many years? So I found like dying in the BF. The promise was there is going to build from here to Basse. Every month 60 boreholes and 40 gardens and 60 months. So no kalo public ko man promise that man timadi. It seems that he has a memory problem. I'm sorry to use the word. But anyway, this is somebody men nada jang ay mollahi du kujamala. They are more political notally. That's why I don't believe in inconsistency. What I believe is right. I want to fight it to the end. Because politicians will make a more fine you will start A, then before they know, you say no, it is not A, it's B. It's not B, it's C. So those people who are following us, and they are the ones who are supposed to elect us in power, they became confused. Who really are we?
Right.
Because when you lead, you must lead with principles. Principles that can make the mola balunya as falino. But that's not the trend in the Gambia. Not the more political and it is us who can change it. We can make them, we can revive that hope once again. We can make them believe, yes, we still have the Gambians who wanted to fight for Gambia, not for the sake of their pockets, but for the sake of you people there. But we must have a leadership in a country. And that leadership must come through elections. So what me along elect in power? You cannot be selling orange to me when you tell me no, it is not the orange, it's the apple. When I already give you the price of orange. So without that the banko be mescolor. You talk about a lot of opportunity, we lost it here and he's right. We lost an opportunity because Gambia did on the Jamme. Baro government is the only government who got that opportunity. Puka more banko convince you're deputy yamfato. You're deputy yamfato wala you extend to some certain level. When I do that, Gambia the man who can do that wala kayamfato. Gambia also on the Baro. We got the opportunity to have that visa pledge of almost 1.6 billion euros. Where are those money? Why do we lose them? Because it campaign the same people you accuse of embezzling public funds, using them in their partisan political interest, you go and hire the same people in those positions.
Working with them.
You think that those people who pledge those funds, are they out of their 5 to give you their monies? And he promised that he's going to give us a draft constitution of one. Brian promised only with the sake of that retroactive clause, I have a banter. And people are looking at you because they know that the system cannot correct with the current laws. So you cannot convince them. They are not conducive to pave an environment for right. So this is why people are saying political and local. So the reactions and public reaction will follow back because each politician, if you comment, know that there is somebody who has divergent view, and the attitudes are not the same. Somebody can be too emotional instead of going constructively. He is going against you maybe personally, and mainly they inherited from the government. Because not long ago, you had Sidia Jata been attacked by Mefati.
That was really bottom low, honestly. Mefati is the last person that is not a good sign of to speak.
Absolutely.
Low will against that was really bottom low.
But is it not that the same system Mefati is serving? When Davo asked for Barrow, I clearance the Nyimfajara Prodla, former Chief Justice, what was the answer? The response was, before I even relinquish power, I have to see you die, buried, and then I confirm you're dead. From a head of state. When somebody is talking about accountability, because the law was clear on how lands were supposed to be allocated. If you have more than one, the law says you don't have the right. So you go and think about that magnitude of land from the state without even being transparent about it. The sale of megabank. So if you talk about corruption, the system there will definitely retaliate against you in a way that the followers will definitely use as a slogan. And this is why the system there, the followers in the political more constructively. So having people like you, that's why I said I like the word progressive. Not the patriotism part, but the progressive part means that we have to move from where we are to the next level. And we cannot have that without putting progressive ideas in people's mind. So, and I will repeat again, consistency matters.
Indeed.
Because political the more Hansani, particularly us the young politicians, is a matter of consistency. Today you can be black, and everybody believes that you are wearing black. Before you say it, you want to make people believe that the black you are wearing is white when they are seeing black. This is the system that Barrow is making people to believe.
Exactly.
That's why you see the amendment of the Jana Commission Commission of Inquiry Act to pave the way for enablers of a system. The system accused once again before they came in.
After a conclusion of the commission.
Absolutely. Compensate them.
Yeah.
So if they say politicians and politics is dirty and they are attacking us, they are not attacking us, but they are attacking a system we belong to. So we have to, we owe them that we want to prove them wrong by bringing them a system that can make a progressive life for all of us. And that we cannot have that with inconsistency. We must be consistent and persistent on the system that we think is ruining their life.
This consistency is important. And a lot of people, I know you didn't ask this.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Just wanted to, that point is so important because as a new entrant into the political field, people will ask you, Doctor, how do we know that tomorrow you won't do what Dr. Cisse did? Which is, people who are inconsistent, they don't only display a bad trait.
Which of Dr. Cisse? TRRC?
You're full boss.
Not our boss.
Let me that again. She was the PR.
It's giving you a tough time.
He's still talking? He's still talking?
He's taking over even more than before.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And then talking about, I heard he said something about, Talib, talked about UDP stealing his 10-point plan. And I almost I had to double click on the article to be sure. The idea that other political party would steal a manifesto idea from Dr. Cisse is just mind-boggling. But the general point I wanted to address is, it's a valid question people should ask because they have seen it with their own eyes. Somebody standing before the country is saying the president is clueless. Where did he get the money for his Mankamankunda house? All sort of things. And then all of a sudden, about face, after he got a few amount in cash and a vehicle, and now he's he's a personal griot to the president. So this is one of the things that makes it very difficult, because you are in this impossible position where you have to tell people, you know, I'm not like Dr. Cisse or some of these people. And it's an unsatisfying answer, because you are almost...
It's a difficult answer.
Yes, it's an unsatisfying one, because you are almost telling them, you know, take it on faith. But in my case, I can tell, not long ago, this same government, they called me, you know, trying to offer me a contract where you do almost nothing. I get $30 million.
$30 million.
Yes. You know.
Is that not a trap?
Of course, it's a trap. The point is, if I were to go, I mean, they believe that I'm like Dr. Cisse. I'm like other politicians who are just there for money. So they made this offer in the belief that I may be saying one thing, but I'm really like them. You know, and I saw them even, you know, basically, for me, it's not the money that's bringing me here. I'm sure what they offered Dr. Cisse was not 30 million. If it was money, I would have taken it. But obviously it wasn't. So I turned it down, just like I never, you know, entertained any possibility of even meeting Barrow himself. I have no need for that money. Especially, you are as head of that institution calling me direct, saying we are going to have something that you should advertise objectively and openly. If I go and take that, what am I saying? I'm basically like that.
Technically, to attack
obviously. So this is what I tell you. I give that example not to say, you know, not to brag or anything, but that this government have tried to entice me more than what they've used to entice Dr. Ismail Cisse, and I didn't take it. And I can tell you, PPA, the Patriotic Progressive Alliance, we are open to alliances with other political parties. But one thing I can say categorically in front of the whole nation is there's absolutely no way that we will join an alliance with Adam Barrow.
You mean zero chances?
There's zero chance. It's absolutely zero. There is nothing he will offer, because I know he's a failure. And my goal in entering politics is to bring the nation forward. And given that that's my goal, align with him is completely out of the question. So it's a difficult question to differentiate ourselves from the likes of Ismail Cisse, from the likes of other people who will sing one tune. But this consistency has made politics a minefield.
Absolutely.
And hopefully that day will come when people like these guys who talk on one side of their mouth, tomorrow you see them on the other side, they will become political dinosaurs, where we will talk about them in the past tense. I have a hope for that. But we need to make sure that change that we are looking for in 2016, it happens.
One thing I would agree with both of you, when he said, like, when people always say politics is dirty, you've also, you know, made emphasis to it that a lot of people, we have talent, a lot of people who can do the job, but this thing of politics is dirty. When I come, they'll insult me, they will castigate me, they will bring my family into it. So for that, I'll just stay back or whatever. I've also been a fervent advocate to say politics is not dirty. Politics is a noble thing. For me, it's like you're saying all teachers are bad. They're incompetent, right? Because you've experienced one teacher who's absolutely incompetent and bad. Like saying doctors are not good. You know, they're wicked because you saw a doctor operating on a patient. Maybe there's some malpractices done, and then you generalize it. It's just, you sit it and say, all accountants, you understand, are liars, or lawyers are liars. No, because maybe one lawyer has fought your case and did not win it. You feel like he or she lied to you, so all lawyers are liars. No. That is about the profession, which is noble, right? Which is a dignified profession. But people that play to it are the ones who are dirty in themselves, and what is in themselves, that's what they bring out. You cannot give what you don't have. So people need to understand, and everybody needs to understand that who I am, that's what I bring. If you're a good person, you're a clean person, an honorable, competent, dignified, you know, consistent, come and bring that to the table. When we have too many of those people, then we'll be able to sanitize. Exactly. And the likes of the guy you mentioned, what's the name again? The inconsistent person?
You forget about your...
That person name.
I don't think it's Ismail Cisse.
There you go. The likes of that, they will be few.
He doesn't want to utter the name.
There will be few, or we will not have even them in the system. We will weed them out. And that's what needs to happen. So that's I guess that is why your entrance into this is very important, and people should welcome it. I'm going to come back to you. Can I move quickly?
No, let me just wrap it up with this, because this is a very important area in multi-party democracy.
It is.
You know, political parties coming up, that I think that pave the way for more accountability, because these are people with different visions.
Right.
They are parties or people with different ideology. And that will definitely improve and consolidate the tendency of accountability, which is in the interest of the general public. Like right now, for me, when I talk about politics and politicians, the system that we are all fighting for is where now we need a discussion. In as much we are having that different ideologies, ideas, views, and then anyway, visions. The system should not be a deterrent factor to deny us defeating the system that is affecting us collectively. And here is where you have partisan followers and politicians chip in.
Yeah.
So sometimes we listen to the followers than Dr. Gajigo. We listen to Nene's followers than Nene herself. We listen to Haji's followers than Haji himself. Right. When Nene is the one who we are trying to entrust with a position. Right. So I could be a mayor follower there. If I say mayor means that I hold no position, and I don't even intend to hold no position. Yeah. So the country is in a bad situation. I'm not looking at the competency of Nene or Dr. Gajigo or MC, but I'm listening to somebody who just out of emotions, I don't even know the environment he's living in, utter something then that would deny me or be used against a system that can definitely transform our lives collectively. Here is where politicians need to look at and study very well. What we need to find is what is in front of us and affecting us collectively. Right. But if you want to use what is behind coming, use that as a factor to do, because I call it denying yourself. So if we are denying ourselves the opportunity to reassure or recorrect the system that definitely failed. That is called unmitigated failure. Unmitigated in the fact that if Barrow, for me I always say, if Barrow succeeds in 2026, let's all pack our bags. Of course. Because nobody can, can you help us? Is it 116 or 120 in debt as a nation? Yes. Huh? That is the same government, hell-bending on going to take loans in our names every day. And within a space of 3 years, they are telling you they have bent laws, they have favored each other, interest groups we have favored, conflict of interest through theft. 110 billion is embezzled in the name of taking loans, grants for youth empowerment and women empowerment. So you and I until long. Hansa until they can now sister in Kautujan can dankum bola me alonko. Amado Barabon I diamodoke. Ndoko kan nele bali wo parasola. And ngalon ko nene tilintal. Ngalon ko nene sister mo asa fali mo sa check mo ngaji be fasa fata ba membe de mo tajele. Sa ngo alimbe ga fer be ngatinya. Akaka mo nyanta mo be jedro. E ko dimba mon. D'abord ni siolu ni nyepetolo. Abele fala. So mbe bo men kolla. Nyanta ka try to save it. Gambia I call it is on fire. And if there's a fire in your neighbor's house, what you need to do is to get your bucket of water trying to put down the fire. Yeah. But if you allow the fire to continue there, the next could be you.
When
so Gambia is definitely we are at a junction of rescuing our nation. And here is where we need to be focused, not to distract ourselves with the divergent views coming. Because I call it accountability is not always conducive. It's not an enjoyable tool. It's always something that when they hit you, you will never like it. But know that you are in a responsibility to rescue maybe those same people who doesn't even understand. Okay. So focus is only solution to what we need to change.
Thank you, Haji. Focus. Ablai, Bujamba, what say you to this new entrance? Some still claim that the political landscape is oversaturated. People will say, I'm sure you will hear that. People say, why form a new political party? Among all the political parties, you are still in waiting. 22. Is there not any one that you can join and inculcate your ideas, your programs, and the competence, the knowledge to bring about the change, together with what you want, because maybe one that is already established. All these questions come, people will talk about it. Regardless, it's everybody's constitutional right when you fulfill the requirements to get registered as a political party. But then again, it's one thing to become a political party, it's one thing to contest an election, it's one thing to be elected to serve. Those are different phases. Ablai, what do you say to this?
Well, people have heard to say the political parties are many, this and that. That's their opinion.
Seattle, president, or one thing also, amanke ko near political party lo doron
directly you are president.
You want to be president, yeah, wala tin nak after, you know, ka political party lo or ka movement lo. Go ahead, Amnai, because we have limited time.
Yes. So what people should understand is ko membe tiata. Abuka moshi. Ana mayina biala. Ayanda mobisi la. So political parties, if the types that would form and join the presidency, even though the presidency is not performing, those we can say are Seattle. Because they are not coming to do any purpose other than the purpose of the presidency. But if we have political parties that will come and there is substance, there is integrity led by people like Dr. Gajigo, we can have a million of them. We don't have any problem with that. So that is the difference. We need to have quality. So if we can have quality in the midst of quantity, we welcome it. They are formed for a business purpose.
So it's not just
that okay, we want to form in time that we join and then we have something.
Transactional
So, yes, so those ones are there. So we need to also look if there are no many political parties. It's also to the disadvantage of us because already they are calling. How many are already in bed with the president?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I think.
So we need to have more to come. Maybe the opposition will now have chance to have those ones also added onto them.
Yeah.
Than for us to say let's limit because already we know that the president has another great chunk that is added onto him. So that the point is not about, but the point is how do we have the government put in the right policies, the IEC put in the right frameworks to attract the best of the best. That is supposed to be what Gambians should be fighting for, not Seattle. If a Sierra, but if you fully mal, may also have what IEC the system and the Manzakunda. So Gambian on the colony, you can complain. To complain about political parties in Seattle, that's not a problem. But what you should complain is what mechanisms are there to attract honey is Seattle, but it will be the best. That's what should be your focus as a citizen who is there expressing his opinion. Min didn't want to see a table of family koro bare dom ustaz di dom teacherty dom loyalty dom engineerty e buka fa Seattle ikala vele ay kaf da ofana menka ke wala ala ma ko goto system ole bi isonta like didn't go to school isonta like a school fees joe isonta like didn't go control isonta like a senior balia to make sure you take care of them. Is that what the government is willing to do and the IEC? So our point should be that and not the proliferation of political parties. And even if that is also happening, then who is responsible? It's still the government. Because probably you have brought the bar so low that you can attract any for that matter. So the point should be, or the frustration should not be directed to the opposition, but to the government. Just like for us to understand, Ahmadba has made a statement regarding the alkalis and this and that, that they should not deny anyone, they should not this. You see, look at the mechanism that the alkali has to attest that it is Musate Dimul. It is Wuro Komponyan. Even if I you are also a villager of that village, isn't it? But what mechanism is there to trace you back to that village? And who should have brought in the mechanism that will make so it will not now be at the discretion of the alkali. Alkali has limitation now. They are all here. It's only my fourth and I think second son that actually went to my village. They just don't know even where Kamfenda is. At some point, there are villages of my village now. But the government should have created a system naturally. The alkali knows or does not know. Alkali is against me or not against me. There is a system that can identify. Now you want to blame those alkali when you do not put that system in.
Natives of that.
Yes, obviously. So, now you are blaming the alkali. How do you blame the alkali? How can the alkali know all about that? So, the problem will be here also with political parties and the entire systems in the Gambia. If we have these systems worked on, this back and forth will not be there. Alkali getting safe or getting no. Obviously, you want to claim membership of a village. The database is there. that okay, you are declared Ibul Rejane, you know, Famati, the alcalde only you have to just go and confirm. Oh yes, you are from here. But how can the alcalde confirm? Amandi Mafon, confirm and Niwa. So no Dimata Raja, so alcalde Yaban, Masunda Alcalo Bay. Because it is more bali. You said he should confirm. If he is not so, you want him to.
He has the discretion.
Yes, you want to confirm something that he doesn't know, and still you are blaming him. So this is it. It's not like bringing a mason and say do the carpentry job. He cannot. The same thing you say, alcalde, okay, don't, I cannot mold bali, only Gambians. But what system have you to ensure it is only Gambians? And when you have the power and you can do it, but you never brought a system that will make sure that the alcalde can depend on that. So now if we are in Fajikunda, it has alcalde for you to get attestation. How does the alcalde confirm that really it is Fajikunda? Has the government put in a system? Have they put in a system to make sure that happens? And now if that alcalde decided to say no, Antinelo, the government will now victimize you. Do you see so this is what they are doing.
It's a complicated
They left a system that way so that they will always capitalize on that system. So the same you can relate to political parties and other distance. So our concern as government should be political party. Our concern is funding member kana. Has there been a system mensa keno ye vet kajeko minimum mutoya moleti, and they are not there for their selfish interest, but they will be there ever ready for the country. So no system what then that is the system that we should be fighting for now. Not because MC laughter can get political. No, everybody, I can tell you, virtually everybody would want to be in a position mayalo. His a position mayalo is leadership. Human beings are like that. Yeah, but the system only fight, not the number, but what system is there that is making so the political party registered. So already, if those political parties fail, you cannot necessarily squarely blame it on those political parties, because it depends on the system by which they got into the system itself. So if the system is very, very rigorous, there is a chance that you are not going to attract anybody. Naturally, come and Christianity also. It's not everybody who can be pastor. You don't know the Bible. How can you preach you?
Some things it's a calling. You may like it, but if you're not called to it, you can't be it.
This is it. So that the system on you don't get me wrong. Political parties, that's not the question, and that's not the solution. The solution is for money became member that you are passing. Just like mass education that we are having.
Right.
All my people, let them go. So may I pass, they are all going. At the end of the day, how many people that went through a system, but you only have few that are green, the rest are chaff. That is what we should push to make sure Mazakunda Lual Minkol Fena. But that also should not be. I'm not saying I'm calling for money, no. Money is the last thing.
Right.
It's about the qualification, it's about the background checks, it's about the competence, it's about what the individual actually can bring.
Like you say, quality,
this is it.
Quantity.
This is it.
Yeah, okay.
This is it.
Thank you so much, Bojang. That submission was great. Thank you. Doctor, time be how na nyo jamu. But before we wrap up, again, back to you. Patriotic Progressive Alliance, PPA. Yes, you haven't registered yet officially. You have not received registration. It's in progress. But gum bi moy ne liggéey bi nga xamne war nga ko def ci ground bi yaakaar bi moy ne yang ci kawam ak sa ay nit ñi ko bokkal ak yoy nono highlight nañ fi ni problème yu bari dina san problème siatale ngam fojang amanke ko wol dammalem bari time mo le waratin na man dunno ku dol fanana bari ite tenting be president yani nina become a political party leader, possibly you will be the flag bearer of your party when you go to Congress to contest. Should you win, near presidency win, ngayong problem on min fojan. Specifically, what was the village name again?
Limbambulu.
Limbambulu. Yes. It's a camera jube no. Itani Limbambulu call ye diam. Parce que menu kele la jakalo warata adimita mantorolem you know pour que jube ka pour ni be jube la ka foko politician all day ko ikay fo nyama inengol diatale ika call fo bi sama ya fo jana bi iko dundung sama iko dandan ko aketa ila interested dorom imeta control nene you understand inatale yenna balu fengo minketa tang ya time bulu tol kamera ko be kemela sotora bare sainte do ngakelim ne soto bula bare benyim kewo min jubela ika fo docteur Ousman Gajigo abe min fokan aduntal control jikro ben tel lako ninga sembentu ya nyimmen ketantolla wo bolaji. I just wanted to speak to those people, and hopefully everybody who is then in that predicament will look at it, and hope will be instilled. You understand? This is the guy that we can rally behind. We can embolden and give, because you know what? If he is the one, what is happening to us will not happen to us, and many others also will. Their situations will be salvaged.
No, thank you very much. Abaraka bake nene. Ukosono fenkata kumayata. Ndela PPA kabring dada ansita nga pati na manifesto dada nga mi londije wala food security banu bunda wala na number one priority economic transformation obije human capital development ni ko human capital wala karambla ani jada kende ati ani system transformation, because ni na daga ko falling ibe nyame kamol do damal bondi milbe sirinje aman dawala mo data ko ke nyame o miro mil bije miliati na president sita anole ay be kudol fola minister bitaye kudol ke o système o wala fo nyanta falinda iba bon dajele ya fay nyamo ko nde agriculture bi amange ko min wultale kabri medu na politiko ko no nganda dum dije meta ko non ngalon ne karambunda to nando ko dula be nun dame Colombe University Lembang, World Bank Lembang, African Development Bank, Meta Agriculture Project Koto, Banku Jamal Fananto. Ngam fansung farm fanan sotola. Mfansung garden la din do kudla. O kola fanan molla na semla be bata minto ila manol lembang ila farol lembang suko musol la garden to meta ko fanan lonnale. Sangi na risa mba ko. So ni lafta banko la hajo jarale. Nyanta ka problem mo lonne molla bata muneti molla sula fo muneti. Anyanda kala multi mialam ko ayolo ite hajo jarala ni man fe lonje bi na president la minister jumala sa fo e fotata la farol to bi wara la na holto wara la kunkolto ni la to fenele ka lo ni election se lo al nyaatu ye nendi andi be fongol be fola barinte ko min na fo nyami amanke bi le mbe place ni nga war men na dunda ñu kol ko la sey jamale kiji private sector la karola public sector la karola philanthropism karola banko bi ni la ta nyaato ibe senole fasala senal dum ibe wolle la ko fasala de la senal bi wolle batari banko do bije senal lem nyaato ko de wolle fenti yoti bari bi ni la ta bata mo la bi be batari tan na satol ko no min kala limbambula manki je damma sati jamal bije dam fa kunda kera jela amanke faro damma la karoto project jamal na rajani min nyinda ka satwol ma koy ke de ma pour gad no soto bi sate do be sirin jele masakunda ko ni lafta ka na ko soto e nyanta ko do min jola nyanta tamle wuli kemela na moni be batari mbamal na sister soul mbadingol wolle be nyim mantoro kon so nimba juudo la momi yalan ko asi falindro keno janta korosila bakel na juube mi ya lundo soto mi ya hammo soto mi ya fero soto nimma oke bina 2026 da tambela jande bina fantar la di same patale kono ara boro ka bondi mamira be kolela baki because mbela ran be batamin kono bari mi nga bondi nyanta ko korosila baki nga juube mbe jumala sin la nyaato mi ya lon ko asi banku samba no nyaato no manke kamo fali kado ki je mi alon ko min ka wala continuer la aman na fa soto mbe ko mbomin to mi damuru la wala kam Allah sa te jamal bi jen futata damento amanke bilem futata je amanke kunundi sanji jama mbe futa kan je wato min mbe mol la problème mol la wato bon hakilo man ta politique ko kam bar niaje ndunda politique ko kono Allah bata nga minji wolen dunde akono nde lappati nga milloni PPA alla pati yolen be karafari ngalla nga pati yolen karafal bulu nali ni ala yen dema alfana na dema roto gambe bitale nyaato ala baraka bake
baraka docteur nali nyimpati PPP min de lola PPA alafta ka min lo docteur ko alla patilem ina san altol le nyanta katokela aliyaki ko nyimpati ye lo pour ntolbe nga bo bata kono ntolbe nga nyaato ta soto ntolbe ina san be kumbo min la ina nyimpati natale ka foko alaftan tolbe nyafitala abaraka bake docteur kacha diata nin ntol damalem ba continue la bari time banta fereng sa indum be programme kum fala jang di jaajëfal ñëpp ñi nga xam ne ñoo ñuy seetaan suñu naataangoo yi ñu ñuy topp saa yu nekk ajuma bu nekk ñu am ci mbégte ak kontaate lool di leen xaasal nag ci mbégte googu noonu di jaajëfal ñi nga xam ne ñooy dooleel programme bi ni ajuma bu nekk without fail njëkkee ko sa kër Finder ñoom ñuy yëngu si yëfi jënda sampa kër jaay kër képp koo xam ne sa xalaat sa mbébét sa buga ci fànn googu noonu la nga am kër buga koo sampa laan bugga koo sampa nga am laan buñ sampa ba pare laan boo xam ne da nga ko bugg a jaay nga am kër guñ sampa ba pare bugga koo jaay lépp lu jublu si fànn boobu noonu boo leen jokkooyee ak kër Finder seen xalaat seen xel màcc na te seen liggéey it yaana dinañ leen ci mun a jàppale bi ngeen xam ne ni ngeen ko buggee demee na noonu di leen jaajëfal keneen ki nga xam ne moom la ñuy jaajëfal mooy APS ñoom tamit ñu yàgg ci business bi la ñëpp a daal seen tur fees lool ñëpp xam nañ leen ci lu ñuy yëngu ñu am ay seen APS app bi am seen APS wallet bi boo leen ko downloadé lépp loo xam ne mu yëfi yónnee wante xaalis joxe wante yëfi xaalis mun nga koo def si app bi ak si APS wallet boobu noonu ñu am link boo xam ne lépp nag pour bégal ñi nga xam ne ñoo leen di use ñiy jëfantee ñoom link bi boo ko jëloon tey bu ma ko jëloon tey yónnee ko MC jël duga ci link boobu yónnee Ablaye xaalis wala yónnee Haji xaalis den yàlla mu def loolu de MC ko dinaa la yónnee link bi nga yónnee leen xaalis link boobu noonu boo ci duggee nga yónnee xaalis yow mi yónnee link bi APS dafa am lu ñu lay ne jërëjëf $1,500 si junne ak juróomi téeméer ñëpp xam nañ ne loolu xaalis la si time bi nekk nii parce que dëkk bi métti na métti boo xam ne kuñ ci jox junne ak juróomi téeméer dina la mun a fajal soxla yu bari kon jël link boobu yónnee ko rek am na njëriñ bu leen tayal kon di jaajëfal APS si jàppale bi ñooy jàppale di jaajëfal Kër Finder si jàppale bi ñooy jàppale seen number yi dinañ ko def si screen bi mun ngeen koo jël o boo leen duggee Google Facebook all social media platforms ngeen search leen di ngeen leen gis ñu ngi si social media bi tamit jàppale ñooñu mooy jàppale ñu ñun pour di dem di ñu gën a jàppale rek suñ stars yi si Facebook bi mu ngi on boo leen di seetaan mun ngeen a just click stars yi pour meñu stars yooyu dafa tontu xaalis su tontoo xaalis dafay jàppale plateforme bi pour ñuy gën di mun a ñëw rek di leen jox li nga xam ne moom ngeen bugg a di indil leen ay gan yu mel ni docteur Gajigo ñi seen xel màcc lool yaa am xam-xam bu baax a baax ñëw pour waxtaan ak askan bi yëpp jubluwaay bi mooy jàngale yëpp jubluwaay bi mooy yeete yëpp jubluwaay bi mooy déggoo ak juboo ak bennoo yëpp nag pour indi yokkute ak jëm kanam ci réew mi kon di am mbégte ak kontaante rek di leen wax ne ba beneen ajuma bu ma jaajëfale ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci gannaaw machine bi technicien si Charles Elvis Ngon Sam Bojang Lamine Siré ak coordinateur bi di Kassa di leen jaajëfal parce que ñoom it seen liggéey am na njëriñ lool kon ba beneen yoon beneen ajuma ci waxtu bi ni ak beneen topic beneen grand guest di leen wax jërë ngeen jëf it's your queen Nene Frida Gomez ala baraka baake
Welcome to Kir Madam Sanyang, Borom, Sweden. This is another Kir Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. Alright, man, I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. CareFinder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities. And the drawers are so spacious. And then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. CareFinder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now, let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well. So you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot. Trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Seka. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because CareFinder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 417-2215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale. Has an owner and not open for viewing. CareFinder is here for you.
Nothing won't APS letter. Ndemu APS letter. APS Gambia lemu APS. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyati mbondri taba futuola. At least ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo. Yo min fo enda sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kinu. Min tata fa wuli muang ime charge fenna wala nta sindija.
Ako. Nyati mbo. Nko ko kabo transuto. Katawula fo wuli muang. Ite fenne dola. Womu zero feel it. Between Kabo was 20,000 la kasele san. Eke tamu eke charge me from abuka fancy.
Wait.
1% da malam bati.
Wata yara gamen no benyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko roko. Ka kodo ki ibadi ngol.
Ya jele ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to. Bari min kum mayata bet wala fango kas pawat. Din suto be during, suto be dibining abetema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika. Ni asika to ya safe da men ko 24 ndi nawek ha ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila crash power isa hawafima ajibe free joriti je
wata mbade ngameno albesito ulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lam baylo kon APS wallet nyaata doro bari koto nim fata do suko kon to
ni be fono le mol nyaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fole
basi ti jembita ndo register jede katu sa APS 100% namundi
APS 100% Gambia 100%.